The Fitness Gram Pacer Test is a multi-stage aerobic...
No, I'm kidding. Hi, it's BitB, and welcome out to BitB Streams. Thanks for coming out. It is currently Sunday. Sorry, I'm a little bit delirious. We're going to be playing some Slime Rancher. Yeah, I was sick yesterday. I'm still a little bit sick today. I don't know. It's a cold. It comes in, you have it, and then it leaves. That progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Thank you, Funnystuf. But anyways, so yeah, I didn't really feel like doing anything intensive like Phoenix Wright yesterday. So I figured it'd just make more sense for me to just like lay down and chill for a little while. And I'm still kind of stuffy, so hopefully I don't have any kind of weird issues involved with like, if I sneeze and then suddenly everything in my head decides it's time to leave my head, I'm not going to be a happy individual. But anyways, yes, the slimes. Hello Al, how's it going? Let's go ahead and dive into that, shall we? Now, the last time that we played, apparently I'm within the end game of the Slime Rancher stuff, because I found like that big old like desert thing, the glass desert that has like those really, really cool looking slimes. So let's go ahead and move over to the game and let us begin, shall we? We're both sicklings, but hopefully it'll get better. Funnystuf says, also, you're at the top of the BitB worldwide leaderboards at a whopping 1 bit. I know, right? That is incredible. I don't know, it refreshes like every week, so. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of the things. I think I watered everything before I came back, so we should be good on that front. Want some of your tissues? You have a whole roll of it on your desk. I also have a tissue box sitting right over here. In the event of any kind of horrible thing. I just don't want to end up, like, draining on stream. Like, that would suck. You know, I don't want to subject you guys to that. You know, it's like, sniffles and all that. Hopefully it won't come to that. Okay, so, how are you folks doing? I think I'm attempting to try and automate a lot of crap at the moment. Mostly because I can't be arsed to do most of the work here. The BitBoy needs a comfort blanket and some tea. It's a tiny eensy-weensy bit too warm. Actually, no, that's a lie. The temperature is actually going down, and I'm very happy about that because I'm sick and tired of summer, and I want fall to get here. I want all the pollen to go away, and I want to finally be able to like go outside and be comfortable. So yeah, you know what? No, I'm plenty comfortable. Oh, you took a hot shower earlier. It helped, but not much. Been there. The problem with me is that when it comes to, like, a lot of heat, and if I have any kind of, like, vertigo involved with my sinuses, it actually does not help. Like, it just makes the vertigo a little bit worse, and you just feel dizzy in the shower, and I'm not interested in that. But good, thank the good heavenly lordly Lou up wherever they are. That's, it seems like it comes and then it goes, so it's fine. Mapley says, the problem with fall and winter is that a bunch of stink bugs love to invade the house. Oh, yeah. I've had that too. For me, it depends. Like, for some... sometimes it's Asian beetles, sometimes it's box elders, sometimes it's like random moths. Like I never know when it's going to happen or what it's going to be. But we end up figuring that out at some point around the time that the turn of the season happens. Stinky buggos. Okay, so what should I like get on top of here? Like. Because we got a whole... Oh my god, I forgot I got you guys. Painted hens! You saw like 6 or 7 of them hanging on the back door. Ugh. I don't like stink... Like, oh god, you know what I really hate? June bugs. Like, June bugs, they're gigantic, and they're like kind of terrifying. They fly at like Mach speed, and if they get into your house, you're in kind of a shitload of trouble. So... Oh my god! Jesus, yeah, let's go over to the lab. I need to take a look at all the new boys. You don't get those there. You're lucky. June bugs suck. Also, I remember hearing a story one time that kind of scarred me for life when it comes to June bugs. I don't even really want to say it on the stream just because, like, if anybody else lives near June bugs, I don't want to traumatize somebody or make somebody go, oh god, and be unnecessarily terrified of them for, like, you know, forevermore. Look at the shiny boys. Jesus Christ. I feed you, I take care of you, and you don't have to worry about anything in your lives, and yet here you are treating me like scum. Hate you. Explosive shiny boys, exactly. Oh, yeah, and before I forget today, here's another interesting thing that's going down. Oh, Shadow says, update. I actually forgot something. Ooh, okay. While you're typing that out. No. Do you guys hear this? That is the sweet sound of a Pepsi being opened. I've done a little bit of number crunching, and according to what I currently have with my diet, I can, in theory, on a good day, have a little bit of soda. And I have missed it so much. I've been gone for too long. I must have it. I swear I don't have a caffeine problem. Anyway. Actually, funny enough, I'm not used to caffeine, so I had, like, a soda not too long ago. And I didn't realize just how jumpy I would end up being after I took that. I was just like, oh, I am oddly uneven. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I haven't set these things down. Shit. Now I'm trying to remember. I believe the drills are what are installed here. The soda, it claims him. I don't have a particular... Like, the fact that I was able to pretty much swear off of soda, like, pretty much cold turkey for the longest time there. I can already tell you. I'm joking. I don't have any kind of a problem. I swear. I swear to God. Actually, fun story. I did swear off soda for like 7 years at one point. Because I wanted to do a little something health conscious for me and I wanted to watch my weight. So I just said, it's like, you know, I don't really need this in my life. But, like, actually, I didn't completely swear it off. Basically, the only time I would ever have soda was when I went out to, like... If I, like, went out somewhere and I wanted to have, like, a fountain pop or something. You know, it's like something from the soda fountains. In that case, I would have been like, okay, I'll have a soda. So basically, the only time I would ever have soda is when I was binging the hell out of it. So it wasn't really a complete swearing off. The glass desert has unique items for every type of extractor, pumps, drills, and API. Really? Whoa. Okay, then. That's very neat. I guess I need to go and set myself up a bunch of them. Well, shoot, if I knew that, I probably would have just thrown all these things down. Over in the desert. Oh, yeah. It's a good thing I can't drown in this, like, thimble of water. Shadow says, I basically just live off of lemonade and juice. Hate carbonated drinks. If I ever tried cutting that out, I don't know what I would do. Water is also gross. Hey, water is good for hydration. Speaking of which, here's some water. Slurp. Okay, I noticed that I have a letter. Let me go check that out. Oh yeah, it's Casey. I had a year to think about things while you slept on your way across the stars. I think it almost scared me when things got easier, and when I finally realized that what we each have now is what we wanted all along. Because if you're still the girl that I know, you're happy out there on the very farthest frontier. And I hope the happiness you feel now lasts forever. I hope that the sunsets over there are as gorgeous as they are over here, and that you search far enough on a rainy day, some rancher out there has a taco stand you can visit. Yeah, no, I've been devoid of tacos for so many days. Send help. I realize that last one probably isn't likely to happen, but it sure would be romantic, right? I'm glad to have shared a part of me with you, Beatrix LeBeau, and I'm happy to know that maybe one of those stars I see up there in the sky is you. Oh god, my heart. I remember Suicide Squidward, right? Yes. If it's what I'm thinking, yes. Creepy pasta-ish terror. Oh, a funny stuff saying, I'm telling you this information now because it's very useful to get that stuff early before a lot of recipes. Oh, no. Oh, God. Creepy thing. What is this? Wait, they put it on an epic? What? What are you talking about? Okay, wait. Oh, Jesus. Yep, I'm taking a look at it right now, and that's freaking terrifying. Is that seriously on an episode? Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, there is something about that, like, just the bloodshot and terrified eyes of Squidward. How bored are their writers? Holy fuck. I don't know. I'm not a gigantic fan of creepypastas in general, but I definitely know about it. It's on an episode called Random Land. Oh, okay, so it's just a bunch of random nonsense. Cool. Why would... Okay, Jesus. You want to traumatize some kids? Do it that way. I know that I know that the whole Suicide Squidward thing has been around for a long time, but for God's sakes, like somebody who's just watching SpongeBob and who does not expect to see that at all, just out of nowhere, is just like, Suicide Squidward, screw you. Yeah, I don't know if I'm alright with that. Okay, you guys need some more chickens. Right, and I believe I moved all of these guys. Yeah, this is gonna be your new food, I believe. Because I went and I did a, you know, a bit besmirch. Here you go, here. Why are the most popular creepypastas ones that are not that well made? True, I don't know. Maybe it's got to have something to do with execution, you know, like... I will say that, like, a creepypasta involved with, like... I don't entirely know too much about the Suicide Squidward creepypasta, but I definitely know that at the very least, the image will draw you in and get your attention, and I think that's really all it needs to have. I think the good creepypastas don't end up going anywhere because, like, whatever, nobody cares. It's just like, oh, it's good? Oh, screw you. Whatever, man. Anyway, what am I really... Oh, I need some more honey plorts. Oh, woo, hey. I definitely need to refill these boom plorts. Ah, hello, B-Man. Rich boyo on money in that game. Not quite. I feel like I could be making a heck of a lot more money with this, but I need to make things super efficient. More efficiency. Ooh, mosaic plorts. How we doing, by the way? That's fine. I seem to remember I set these guys up and then pretty much ended the stream. It just occurred to me I might want to actually have a stock of these. Come to think of it, which one? Okay. I should really tell you not to grab plorts now that I think about it. Here, I want you to go grab those heartbeats from the gardens. Auto feeders. Oh dear, he must defecate all of them. Doing good? That's good to hear. Ah, the slimes in this game, yeah, they are very adorable. All that entire segment needed was some kind of, like, you know, defecation sound effect. Like, every single thing in this game is in some way, shape, or form cuddly and adorable. Including the tars in some, like, sort of odd way. Shadow says, part of the audience of creepypastas are also ones that make fun of them, so maybe that's why? Although it could just be luck. No, you got a point there. Oh god, Maple Leaf posted a... Yeah. What's the paragraph? SpongeBob directors. Okay, we're losing ideas about these episodes. Does anybody have any ideas? Employee goes, ooh, I have an idea. Remember that one old SpongeBob creepypasta from 2009? We should put it in an episode special. SpongeBob directors, you mean the one that traumatized young children? Let's do it! I don't know. I think SpongeBob at this stage, like, have you ever heard of, like, tenor when it comes to, you know, workers at, like, educational facilities and stuff? Basically, when you get a point in your career where basically you could just coast off of the reputation that you have carried yourself for the past several years. I feel like that's where SpongeBob is right now. Like, they've carried Nickelodeon for such a long time that I feel like they could probably get away with anything at this point. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Get out of my way, you bastard! You adorable, goofy bastard. You believe I can visit the super secret area now if I want. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna try and keep that in mind, and I'm just gonna, like, continue to keep working on doing stuff here. Now, again, I turned off the whole plort collection bit, because I don't need that right now. Oh my god, these guys are just saturated in food. Look at him go. And also these guys. Like, are you guys even eating? You should. It's healthy. Maybe I can make stuff in the lab. I mean, at some point I will. Especially since I need to get some more of those. Apparently I need more pumps and stuff like that. And I need to bring them out to the new glass desert area. Let you know when I want to go there. Okay, that's fine. For those people who are just joining, I should mention that I'm still sort of suffering from a cold that just recently wafted through my area, so yeah. I mean, I'm usually pretty nasally, but today I'm extra nasally. Yay. It's not to a point where I feel like, you know, handicapped in any way. I feel like I could still do pretty much everything. Oh no, Maple, what is this? Yeah, I don't know if I feel very comfortable about playing a Steven Universe clip, especially since that is probably going to be content ID'd up the arse. Speaking of content ID, surprise, surprise, that Conductor Old Town Road video that I made, yeah, that's content ID. That being said, I don't care too much about content ID. It's not like I was going to be making money off of, like, I wasn't planning on making money off of that stuff anyway, so that doesn't hurt me that much. Content ID party. I guess, like, my number one concern is that, like, with these streams, it very much is a whole lot of me, and the last thing I would want is for a 10-second clip of some cartoon to completely phase out all the other extra work and all the other commentary I do. Like, that's not fun. Like, it's one thing if I decide to take, like, the entirety of the background, like, instrumental of Old Town Road and turn it into, like, well, basically do a cover of it, like a vocal cover. Like, that I can understand. Okay, that's fine. Lil Nas can have the ad revenue on that. Whatever. Yeah, send it on the memes channel. Back off. I mean, you're doing a great job, but you're stunting my my space here. Make a teleporter to the end of the game. I don't know if I want to end the game just yet. I mean, that's one of the nice things about this game. You can pretty much do anything at your pace. It's a farming simulator. It's nice. It's pleasant. Right now, I'm just taking care of my chickens and my slums and making sure that they're healthy and happy and they're not, you know, starting a coup. It'd be an adorable coup, but... yeah, an adorable coup. Oh, a meme image. I can deal with that. When you're hiding something from a killer in a dark room and your light-up sketchers go off. Oh, Michael Rosen. I don't know. I actually do remember Michael Rosen was on camera at one point, and he mentioned that he's actually really, really cool with, like, YouTube poops and the memers that have been taking his stuff and, like, throwing it around. And there's a part of me that's like, is he sure? Are you absolutely sure about that, sir? Because if you've seen some of the YouTube poops I've seen with you in them, they're not flattering. Although it is nice that he looks at it as like a creative medium, and therefore he's just like, oh yes, go ahead, create to your heart's desire. And then meanwhile we have him talking about like shoving things up his bum. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if you should have just dealt with that. Yeah, Michael Rosen is a wholesome man. I agree. I'm always a big fan of, like, whenever somebody ends up becoming a meme, like, you know, they take it with some pride, and they're just like, you know what, yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, like, living as a meme is not the worst thing you could possibly live through. I don't know. But basically, it's not the end of the world, and it's not the worst thing you could be dealing with in your life, so by all means, like, be a meme. Ooh, hello, pink and white bat. I hope all you guys in the chat are having a lovely day. I don't know. Today, for me, it's been like a tiny bit slow. Not too ridiculously slow. Just slow enough that it just feels comfortable. Nice, quiet, lazy Sunday. I don't know. How many of you guys... were you guys at all in the... oh, the AU and Time community just recently had, like, a Jackbox game. And I decided to pop in for a short period just to play around in TKO. And that was pretty fun. Pink was playing Slime Rancher earlier today. It's a decent game. Did I see Donald Ragatoni's video on the memes channel? Okay, well, hold on. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Where are you? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. I'm going to be very honest with that. Pull up my videos again. Discord was covering all my stuff. All right. How are the dispensers doing? Oh, it's below the dancing sands. If that's the case, then I probably did see it. Oh, you guys posted... Oh, Jesus Christ. Stuffy posted a file that says, "Did you remember?" Okay. I'll check that out later, because again, I feel like I'm going to get flagged. Do you remember? 21st. Oh, shoot. Stop scrolling up. Oh, shoot. No, I actually did not check that out. Oh, sorry. Here. I don't know. I tend to go over there in installments. You know, it's just like, how much of the memes channel can I deal with at a certain period of time? And then sometimes I just marathon the thing. Goodbye! But it's Snatcher, but if he was in the Mafia. Ooh. That sounds hilarious. Hold up.
That sounds hilarious.
There, that works. Bloop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. Mainly because it's... Oh, right, yeah, it's Junktown. That's freaking hysterical, actually, now that I think about it. I'll have to look at it sometime later. Okay, was that all of them? My brain stopped for a second there. I don't know. I'm currently in the just cruising phase here, where I'm just sort of like grabbing everything that I feel like and not paying too much attention. Okay, yes, I did grab everything. Again, the gears are moving a little slower. See, the bad part is that, again, when I have some sort of like a head cold, it saps brain power, and I do not like it. Oh, geez, I said brain power, didn't I? Does anybody have the copy pasta on hand? I don't want to put the music on, but... Have I got the secret style pack? I can give Slime's new different look. Yeah, I know that it exists, but I haven't really felt like picking up that DLC. Just because, like, I was just recently starting Slime Rancher, and I figured I would just stick with the regular slime style for now. At some point in the future, I definitely will. Oh dear. Honeycomb, no! I haven't seen much about what the actual, you know, the new secret styles are. So that'll be neat when I finally pick it up. I definitely will pick up, but it's just a question of, like, when do I feel like just randomly dropping $5? I'll tell you one thing I'm really looking forward to, the Steam Autumn Sale. Because you know that they're gonna do an Autumn Sale. They do a summer one, they do a winter one, spring one. They did an Autumn Sale last year, so yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what goes on sale. Have I heard that someone is making a Super Mario Bros. Super So game? What form is that possibly going to be able to work in? I mean, is it going to be a platformer like Mario, or is it going to be sort of a point-and-click adventure game? Is it going to be, like, is it going to be a visual novel? I'm kind of leaning towards visual novel. That just seems more likely. All right, let me just skim through this video then. Oh, what the heck? It's the field of spaghetti. Oh, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. Reminds me of the time when a whole bunch of, like, you know, 7 Granddad meme games came out. That's giving me pretty much the exact same vibe. Okay. Should I head to the desert? I don't know. Like you said, it might be a good idea for me to have some drills and some pumps. Spaghetti dinner. Let me do that, shall we? I kind of wish I had a better drill. What was that? Oh, yeah, right. I need to make enough money so that I can afford to get, like, one of those master drills or whatever the heck. Mapley posted a lizard. That's adorable, and he's probably in trouble. Help! Alright. I think I have enough resources that I can get... How much is too much? I'm gonna make 3. Oh dear. Yeah, I need some honey ports. I wish my energy just wouldn't run out. I'm currently at a point in the game where I feel like it's a little bit inconsequential. Okay. I suppose... Oh, here's another question. What kind of plorts should I be bringing out? Actually, wait. There are already rock plorts there, so that won't matter. I'm trying to remember, like, which plorts specifically out in the desert should I probably be bringing out, just for the sake of, like, expansion. I know that rock plorts were one of them. I could just grab them. Arrow. I don't want to be over encumbered with a lot of crap. Lord. He's adorable. Jesse Jesus Lopez, the guy making it, was also an animator for Shantae Half Genie Hero. Oh, freaking really? That's awesome. Whichever plort would sell the most. I just want to have some plorts on hand so that I can unlock these plants. And I don't remember if, like, rock plorts are just exclusively the only thing that they use, or... We have one of you. So where are the devices around here to, perhaps activate that? Ooh. Oh, they're adorable little guys. And also deadly. But, yeah. It's a good thing that I have so much health. Like, have I even died once of losing health in this game? I don't think I have. I see a ledge up there. I kind of want to start climbing that. I hear chickens. Where be chickens? By the way, sorry for going absolutely nuts in the playlist channel on Act Like a, Talk Like a Pirate Day. Ooh, hello. Oh, I don't have this plort. Okay, that ain't gonna work then. Health really isn't an issue in this game, to be honest. I got that impression. Wait a minute. What? Hold the phone. What is this? Glass? Oh, wait a minute. Here we are. Okay, oh, so this is where the, this is where the fountain actually is, and then I have to run that water somewhere else. Gotcha. Interesting. Oh, ah! Hello! What are you doing, boy? Oh, man, I don't have any fruit on me. Shoot. Where's the nearest fruit? Damn it, this is the desert. There really isn't much of any fruit. Ah, crap. Whirly bird. Big boy. Oh, dang it. I guess I just need to kind of, like, run through. Oh, ouch. You hit a nerve? Where'd you hit a nerve? Was it, like, in your You say that you coughed non-stop afterwards? Like, wait, that's not usually how your throat and your vocal cords work. Or maybe I'm completely missing something. Ooh. That's a vegetable, shoot. Yeah, there's a cave that has rock statues. I seem to remember that I did unlock that the last time that I played here. But my question is where? It was probably, like, really deep into this area. Oh, boy. Storm time. Here we are. I like these areas. They're nice and shiny. Alright, well, where the heck's the fruit in here? There's some carrots. There are more waterable buds outside the cavern. Okay, then. Can I climb on this tree? Yes, I can. So I can just grab some water and run outside to spray them. Well. Sorry, I just wanted to, like, climb up here, see what's up here. It's very pretty. Ow! Shite! Oh, hello. Hidden pod. Ruined desert column. Very well. Heck was that? I just heard something purr for a second. Ow! Stop it. I heard something purr for a second. Blurp. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a good thing that I don't have to worry about health or anything. Okay. Fire slime at the falling fire. What? Hey, whoa, what? These are boom slimes, correct? Shoot, wait a minute. Fire slime? Did I miss something? See, here's the problem. I noticed that, you know, there's fire slimes and there's boom slimes, and they're separate. Which frustrates me because I can never really tell the difference, like, just, you know, right in front of my face. But it's not right now, anyway. Oh, shoot. I saved you, you jerks. Oh, whatever. Okay, I'll try and keep that in mind. The next time I see falling hellfire falling into, ooh, chicken den. Neat. Whirly, get out of here. Okay, so... I'm trying to look for more of those statues. Because I want to open up a few more fountains. And I'd also like to know what, you know, which one of the plorts that I should be grabbing. The special water from the fountain in the cave gives you 30 seconds to use it, which is more than enough to run outside to spray these. But that requires being good. Also, is this something? Actually, wait, no, that's the thing in the center that's actually causing all this place to be clean and spiffy. Never mind. Okay, I guess I'll give this a shot. Should have let my stamina turn back, but okay. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Sploosh! Sploosh! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay, where were some other ones? Okay, there's one up here. Keep that in mind. Oh, look how... Ah, this place is pretty now. Sucks less. Still a bunch of tar. Gas, gas, gas plays in distance. Not gonna lie, it's a very tiny bit disorienting. Get out of here! Here, give me a second. I see messages in chat, but I'm Russian. I mean, I'm not Russian, you know, I mean... You get what I mean. Is that all of them within the area? I don't even know. Most likely, no. When the desert's on fire, like how it did earlier, you can find fire slimes from the fire that look like Oh, wait. That look like towers? That look like towers? Interesting. Again, I'll try to keep that in mind the next time that I try to do that. Ooh. Crystal Derv. Those plorts are pretty as all hell. Okay, so now that we've unlocked a whole bunch of these guys, now what? Like, what is my benefit aside from making the desert a lot less drab and a lot more fab? Oh, wait, howdy doody, how you doing, guys? I see what I need to do here. One of you guys go ahead and, like... Here, Tangle Slime. A slime that... Alright, I guess 5 will do. Tanks! Here, what? Wow, well... what? What just happened? What do these Tangle Slimes do? Why are they here? What's going on? Also, can one of you guys spit a plort real quick? Meow. Bitby wrote the Slimepedia. Confirmed. It is filled with a lot of puns. What is your diet? Meat! Okay. Alright, so that's why you guys aren't eating anything. So I guess that means I should probably go and find some chicken. Oh! Chicken! Get in here. I'm gonna clear this out because I don't really need to be carrying around those beets. Here, I want you to eat this, please. Ooh, a tangled plort. Oh, what? I guess I don't need all... Like, I just need, like, 5 of them, and I'll bring them back. Turn to page 350 for Bitby's famous homemade hell on toast recipe. Yeah, then we got you. So, again, wasn't there... there were plenty of things that required tangled plorts. Especially, like, the statues out here. Where was that one? It was located, like, up above or something. Should I have more tangle plorts? Should I prepare myself? Here, get in my gun. Because I'm going to go feed a whole bunch of those tangled now, and I want to get some more plorts. Not bother. Oh, here we go again. Well, I'll keep my eye out for any fire slimes. I need to clear my inventory of these rock ones, though. Are you playing around with that port? Oh, no. He is! Look at him go. I just need that one. Any more tangles that are just hanging around here? I believe there was, it's just I was very slow on the uptake with that one. Oh, hello. Hold the phone. Fire slime! Like a little campfire, except that it moves and it's a slime. Well, good thing my gun is heat treated, so it doesn't have to worry about burning up. Wow, okay. Where the heck do you keep fire slimes? Can you make a lava pit? Get in my gun. Come on now. I want to see more oh, there they are. And then there's you. Get out of here. Here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to get like a good 5 of like every species of slime if I can. The fire rising up so high, that's why you brought up the fire towers. Okay, all right. Well, I got some fire slimes, so we're good. Good to go. Look at the little bubbles on these things. It's adorable. You actually keep them in incinerators, which are probably one of the most useless plot types. I was wondering why I would ever need an incinerator ever. And now I know. Okie dokie. So, I got myself a couple of tangle plorts. Ooh. So let's be on the lookout for like a fountain. Okay, I know there's one up there, but I don't know if we need more than one tangle plort to activate it. I suppose there's only one way to find out, so let's climb. Explore. The ancient valleys. Climb Pride Rock. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what happens when I do this. Okay. Sure. The circle of life. Oh, alright. Okay, it actually tells you how many statues there are. So we got one so far. Shoot, I don't have enough plorts. Damn it. Very well. Ooh. Hello. Oh, shoot, wait, I don't have any fruit. I have a hen. Can you have a hen? You know what I'm gonna do? Eat. Digest. Thank you. Damn it, Bobby. I don't know why, but me and my friends have this running gag where, like, I'll do an impression of, like, Hank Hill, except he is extremely, like... First of all, domestic abuse is not funny. I'm gonna say that right now. Like, actual abuse is not funny. I don't know. We just have a running gag where, like, I'll voice Hank Hill. It's like, I'm gonna whip your ass the next Sunday. It's just like... We don't know, like, it's just funny to us for some reason, just Hank Hill, about to smack a bitch. Okay, now before I go in there and grab my water, I should probably take note of where I need to be spraying it. Okay, definitely in the center over there. Can't really see anything else from this vantage point. Damn it, Bob, no Autumn's final destination.
You're on, Dad.
Oh, Shadow just finished the third case. Fun, but very unsatisfying. That's very strange. That sounds like the opposite of slimy yet satisfying. Since we're talking about the freaking circle of life. Hey, splurp. Oh, sorry. I'm hyper confused at where I should shoot next. My guess is that I'm supposed to... Oh! I did it! Ooh, just in time. Wow. Very nice. Oh, the slime's roam free. Sorry, I make strange noises. What do you want from me? It was fun only because it was very chaotic and you kept questioning my judgment, which doesn't usually happen. You were very set on an idea that the game actually didn't set up. You happened to be right. Nothing was resolved at the end, though, so you have actually no clue what happened. So basically, it was like at the end of the story did not feel satisfying. I've dealt with a couple of different stories like that before. Okay, so is that pretty much all of those that I can take care of? And if that's the case, is there a chance that maybe I can take the water from up here and perhaps run quick enough that I might be able to get to that one bud out in the middle of that area? Purposefully like that, yeah. Yeah, the writers, they can do whatever the heck they want. For better or worse. Actually, funny enough, I could just like run across the surface of this area. Here we are. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna pop this open while I'm up here. Potted cactus. Okay. I think that was pretty much it. Cactus, get! Lovely. What do I do with it aside from it looking neat? Okay, have I unlocked any other particular things in here, or is this basically it? Pretty sure this is basically it. You can shoot stuff on it, and it sticks for like 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah. At least it does something. As opposed to just being a decoration that's static and does... You know, it's just like, it's limp. No personality to it. Well, I got 5 Tangle Slimes, 5 Fire Slimes. I think this is a good haul. I should probably take these guys and head on out. Should probably go get fruit for that fat slime. I agree, especially since that's what's going to be able to allow me to get through some of the gates. Oh, wow. Carrot explosion. But I've still got, like, I've got a whole bunch of new slimes that I need to set up camp for, but where do I want to set them up? Tangle slime, fire slime. Okay, fire slime is one of those things that you don't really need to maintain, right? I get the feeling that these things probably don't eat, just like the, you know, the water variant. The veggies were surprised that I came home. It's like, you survived! Excusez-moi. I'm just trying to get a surplus of these. Oh, shoot, I didn't put out the Okay, we're gonna have to go back to the desert, because I didn't end up putting out the pumps or anything of that. Let's see. I know that I have the water slimes located down here, correct? Oh, no, I moved the... Oh. Oh, no, they are here. Did I move them at one point? I don't know if I did. Who knows? Okay, are there any remaining plots just sort of hanging around here, or... Random? I believe not. It looks like all these things are taken up. Mostly because I want to make sure that these guys are being fed and are happy and won't cause some horrible incident. They're there. They're just really obsessed with the duck. Fair. I mean, I would too, if I were in that case. So, all right, how many... Are there any other plots that are just sort of here that I don't need to have just sitting here? No. Starting to think that I might actually have to branch out to some of those outer areas and put down some slimes. That indigo stuff that was on the wait. You know why. Was it some kind of a... Oh, shoot. Was it from some kind of a dispenser? One of the secret capsules? When you fall into the ocean, a small chunk of items you had will wash up on specifically that beach. Really? That's kind of neat. That's pretty neat. How neat is that? Okay, again, gotta think of a place to put Mr. Tangle here. Yeah, I may need to outsource. Like, I might have to go out to other farmlands and, like, start putting down more slimes. Which, you know, that's not the worst thing that could possibly happen, but... yeah. I kind of wanted to keep everything on my farm. Everything domestic. Everything local. If I ever fall in the ocean while carrying something, I can check there just in case. That's cool. Okay, well then I guess the question is, where would be a good place to put a Tangle Slime? Something about the Tangle Slimes that feel... Maybe I should bring them over here. Here, where was that? Oh, right. This direction. They feel like Bulbasaur. Yeah, exactly. So, I feel like this would be a good spot to put them. Yes, very nice, very nice. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and just set them up right here. Not a coop, corral. Some high walls, music box, an air net. Plort collector, auto feeder. And we're outfitted. Also, you guys' diet is meat, so that means that you guys are going to need some chickens. I will return. Oh, also, what is their favorite food? There's a good question. Oh, painted hen, sweet. Dude, totally. I got those. We're going on a field trip. Okay, gotta leave a little bit of the population just so that they continue to keep making, you know, hens and stuff. Fire slimes only need ashes to produce plorts, but don't quote you on that. Very well. I'm just worried that, like, they're gonna just completely disappear if I don't corral them. Thought they'd die when the ashes are gone. I don't know. I don't know how this game's mechanics work. Okay, Bubs, you are going to be a little hungry for a little while here, but in the meantime... guess I'll go ahead. Shoot, I really should have thought about my placement of the pens. Here. I will. Get up. Deluxe! Get to work. Okay, and now I need a good spot to put some just, you know, lava slimy boys. I think this rocked area out here is probably a good one. Don't need it? Burn it. Ash trough. Interesting. Okay. Whoa, no. Come back. Whoa. No. Stay in. No. What are you doing? Stop bouncing. Stay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here, let's just hit this. Ow! This guy does not want to stay in here. Holy crap. There we go. Very nice. Thank you. Make sure to refill the ashes. You can throw anything in the fire. Oh, okay. Interesting. Is there a chance that these guys could disappear if I don't put ashes in here then? And also... oh, dear. Anyone want fried chicken? Me! Dives head first. Nah, I'm actually good. Food. I forgot there was a soda here. What's wrong with me? Whatever, I'm trying to drink it slow anyway. Alright, so, fruit. Think that's enough? Recommend setting up a drone to get the fire ports so I don't end up accidentally pushing them out or accidentally sucking them up. Yeah, good idea. Speaking of which, how many drones do I have on me? I do have 4 drones, so they're not efficient. Just putting a drone out there is probably a good idea. Though that does mean that I need to watch it and make sure I water it. That's not all that great. I'm gonna put you... plorts. Plort collectors. Just occurred to me, this guy doesn't have anywhere to put them. Shoot! I I guess the cheapest way to do this would be to make a silo. But, I don't know. I've gotten this far without really needing silos. Why would I start now? Oh, to get fire plorts, you need to specifically tell it incinerators. Right, so I guess I'll set up a couple of, yeah. Okay, then. Fair enough. I will do that. But first, let me look in here. Oh yeah, advanced... I don't have any royal jelly. Shoot! Okay, fine. Here, warp tech. All of this requires... Royal jelly. You know what? I don't really need to be sending these plorts anywhere. I can come out and collect them. That's fine. That's cool. Well, yeah. You know what? Maybe if I'm real goddamn lucky, maybe maybe these things have, like, made a royal jelly. Hi! Can I help you? Oh. Damn it. Here, let me drop these off. He wanted your honey. Oh. Fair enough. Honey is delicious. Oh, I was just talking about this the other day. Oh, earlier today. I really badly want to get into, like, making fresh bread. Because there is nothing quite as good as fresh bread. It's not that hard. You just need... You have some time on your hands, then yeah, you could. All right, Tim, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, bother. Actually, why am I carrying around a hen? Get out of here. All you need to make bread is take some wheat and place it in a horizontal row. Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong. I've been putting it diagonally, so... You know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead. Out of straight boredom. Let's teleport out here. It seems so quiet and gentle right now. Also, this place was very barren at one point without the slimes, so it's just like, oh, everything feels more alive now. It's nice. Oh. I just realized I'm going the complete opposite direction of that one slime that I'm trying to feed. Oh, also, I probably should have grabbed some chickens so that I'd have something to feed that one that's up there. You know, hey, you know what? You're just wondering how long it'll take for me to find a specific, very rare item. Whatever that item is. Sounds tantalizing. Soda. Right. I'm gonna head back to the farm, because I totally forgot that I should have been bringing chickens too. Question is, what kind do you think I should grab? Wait, okay, question. Which one do I have a surplus of? I think that's a good question. I think just regular chickens, honestly. Here, let's grab all the hens in the world. Slurp. I try my very hardest not to slurp as much as I possibly can, because I know that there are a lot of people that really hate that. 25 doesn't feel like that's going to be enough. So let's go ahead and just take a bunch of the stonies. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, oh, there's eggs. I've never seen them in egg form before. Look at that. That's very neat. Okay, that's a lot of chicken and a lot of fruit. Now I think we're good. Egg. Eggs, 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 eggs. Tamago. Parent. Egg. Lego my Eggo. Oh, you know what would go really good right now? Some, like, freshly made waffles. I'm not talking, like, you know, not Eggos. Not stuff you just stuff in a toaster and it's bland and you don't care about. No, no, no. I mean, like, fresh recipe. Nice and fluffy. With real maple syrup. Are you hungry yet? What about an egg in a nest as in breakfast? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. What is an egg in a nest? Probably for something fancy. Okay, bud, you had better appreciate all this kuberry. Whoa, he's shaking. Bang! Bloink! I got it. What the heck are you? No! Shitbag! No, I must grab. Get out of here. Prickle pear! This is a fruit that knows how to fight back. Hell yeah! I don't know what you are, but I'm glad that it wasn't eaten. Wow. Is that... Oh, just like raw minerals and stuff. Oh, and a fire slime thingy. And a bunch of that. I already have a bunch of that. Okay, so cool. Now I got like a tree that I could put together. Oh. The slimes, they're taking over. Well, the tars, I should say. Dervish slimes love prickled pears. Nice. Hey, actually, didn't I, Oh, yeah, we talked about that the last time that we did the stream. And I was like, well, I don't have any prickled pear, so I guess we're screwed. Oh, dear. Well, let's just go ahead and get this done, shall we? Also, don't think I need to be carrying these around anymore, so I'm gonna save an inventory space. Oh boy. I don't know how much chicken you're gonna need, but hopefully it ain't much. Oh, he wiggle! He wiggle! I love chickens, Eddie! Again, Matt Hill, the dude that voices Ed, stand-up guy. Ooh. Oh, what the heck is this? That's very strange. Is that an egg in a nest? I'm confused. What are you? It's like you cook an egg, except in like you know, fully in a pan, and then you scrape the top, and it becomes like sticks or whatever. Like, that's neat looking. Oh, I know that my mom makes that for my dad. Not the heart shape, but like she does, just like a little you know, little egg in a toast. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, buddies. Okay, you guys leave me alone. Whoa, silver parsnip. Whoa. Like a carrot's rich, sophisticated cousin. Also, it's silver. Very nice. I like that. Here. You guys can eat these chickens. Now, leave me be. Very nice. Oh, I like... Okay, I'm getting a whole bunch of cool stuff here. And then this. That I don't need. Because I've already got a ton at home. Pogo fruit. Right, before I forget, I made some dispensers, and I'm going to make them somewhere at the beginning of this area, so let's do that. Also, that thing didn't give me a single key, I just noticed that.
Erect donut.
The thing you posted was not egg in a nest, but just a very weird egg cake. You know, I've seen weirder, so... I think I'd at least try it. It's literally just eggs, except prepared in a very strange way. That's fine. Okay, so... Literally any of those dispensers would, like, work in this environment? Is that correct? Boil egg, make cake. Let's see. All three have unique items. All right, cool. Well, you know what I should really set up here? I should set up some kind of a teleporter. Just so that I can, like, send some items back to, like, either the market or somewhere else. For convenience sake on my part. Alright. I didn't really count this out right, because we got, like, 2 on this step, 2 on the next step. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna be... Like, this is gonna be really oblong. I like order. Oh, also... Wait a minute. Can I only install 2? Like, 2 of each in this area? Because it kicked me out there. Yeah. Oh, drill install limit reach. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, alright. Well, I guess my, my answer has been made for me. 2 will be going in the desert. Very well. Now, let's get the heck home. And plant ourselves some pickled pear and silver parsnip. Yeah, you didn't know there was a thing either? Apparently. So, I guess you can't farm the ever-loving hell out of that resource. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, that doesn't seem like it would be lopsided at all. Who would be crazy enough to have this many dispensers out? Like, well, me, but... I like resources, what? Speaking of which, kind of full on resources at the moment, but... Alright, chickadee. Yeah, see, I've got a whole bunch of dispensers just sitting around at home. Like, I don't really need to be picking any from boxes. What crazy person finds his resources on the ground? Real men dig. So far, a lot of jellystone and indigo eum. Ah, and screwed. But that's okay, because we have this connection. Looks at prickled pear. Oh, the bare necessities. Oh, the bare necessitates of life. Very strange. All I can think is, you know, the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Okay, so... Prickled pear. This confuses things. Because if we were to go down here... Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I need to remember to water you guys. I apologize. Now it's just becoming a water spree of watering all of the bots. Soak. So here's the thing. Here's the Tabby Dervish Largo. The thing that I set up here is, you know, I made it so that these guys are eating the phase fruit so that I could have, yeah, 2 of these robots. I don't have, like, a super efficient robot that can send out 2 different types of food. If I did, this would be perfect. Like, this would make total sense. But I don't. Jeez, man, look at all the plorts you're leaving. I'm gonna move their ducky over there. There we go, buddies. Because again, I would love to make the prickled pear thing over here. You know what I could do? Hold on a moment. Because this is technically a fruit, correct? Well, remove crops. There we go. Now, I'm gonna tell this guy. Fruits. Source. Gardens. Send them to the auto feeders. And bada boom, bada bang go. Oh, also... They're just bouncing off his face. Hey, stop putting them in, damn it! That's gonna shoot it directly into the pen, isn't it? Darn. Kinda wish this would speed up. Now, when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear and you prick a raw paw, well, next time beware. Don't pick up the prickly pear by the paw. When you pick the pear, try to use the claw. I haven't seen much about the Jungle Book in a very long time. Just ignore me, I'm wasting resources. Parsnip season. Save a few lemons for the... Oh my god. I feel like I don't even want to mess with fire slimes, for God's sakes. If I gotta remember to burn a bunch of them in an incinerator... You just got back. Are we making the world's largest lemonade? Yes. You got it. Out of context, that must be amazing. Just being like, how does this make sense? Meow. You were AFK for like 5 minutes. And you come back and I'm doing something stupid. Well, you're correct. Are you sure that they're not just gonna stay inside this corral? You know, like, even if they're not being fed in the incinerator? Can you check that? Like, is that an urban legend? I'd like to be sure. Oh, okay, we got little chicks. Here, one of you guys is gonna have a good day. They are like puddle slimes. I mean, like, when I put the puddle slimes inside, well, when I put puddle slimes inside, like, a corral... Oh, hello, what are you... How'd you get out? Get back in your pen. Get back in your pen! Get... Fuck. How? How are you escaping? Yeah, what? Hey! Dick! They only produce plorts with ash. Oh, okay, it's fine if they only produce plorts with ash, but I'm wondering if they despawn. That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so... Target. So specifically fire plorts, source... Incinerators. There's nowhere for them to put them. I don't have a place for that. I guess I could set up a silo, like, you know, for in the meantime? I don't know. Rapscallions! Guess I don't need a too big of a silo, so there you go. You don't think that he'd spawn without it? Ash only gives them food to make plorts. Okay. Yeah, it'd be bullshit if it turned out I had to use the incinerator in order to keep them. Alright. Fire plort. Incinerator. And send them to... Silo. There we go. So, does the fire plort set things on fire? That's one thing I'm wondering. Because I feel like I'm kind of like walking with a bomb. Right, so silver parsnips. I'm curious, what slime likes silver parsnips? Mosaic slime. Oh, I see. Okay, well. Dare baby. So are you the only pen that's getting those beats, by the way? I think you are. Yes, you are. So if that's the case, die! Oh, weird. Okay, now tell you. Silver parsnips. Take them from the gardens. Send them to the auto feeders. And also, wake up! Okay, you guys are going to be slightly starved for a short period of time here. Does anybody remember when puddle slimes were just blue-pink slimes? Oh, weird. I don't, and that sounds amazing. Okay, I gotta check up on these farms again, because I need to make absolutely freaking sure that we don't run into any kind of an issue with, you know... I think the auto feeder has to... I don't know. So the question is the game smart enough to remember what was the last vegetable that was put inside of the machine? Is it good enough for that? Or does it, like, require a specific vegetable to be in the auto feeder for it to even work? Because there's a part of me that's like, that does sound like a real good quality of life thing, and they might have done that. Of course, there's also a part of me that's like, maybe they didn't. Well, I'm looking forward to these guys giving, like, you know, double the plort output, because that's going to be cool. Oh, and speaking of which, I have no idea if mosaic plorts are going to be important or not, but I'm definitely going to collect a little stock of them. Make sure to keep at least one in there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. When I get the style pack, they look like Tangle slimes, but light blue-green with a tropical flower on top. Ooh. Pretty stuff. Let's see. You guys are still doing pretty good. I think you have so many chickens. Let me head back down to where we have, like, our, you know, the phase slimes. Because I need to make sure that everything is going proper over there, too. Leap! Dun, da, 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 da. Oh, this game, it's so gentle. It's a good thing, like, in the event you wanted to have something to just sort of waste brain power on, I don't know, that's kind of a bad way to put it. But it's like, if you don't want to be too stressed out, this is definitely a good game for you to just turn your brain off, and not turn your brain, again. It's a good distraction, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, prickle pear. Son? Okay, lesson learned. Brain power? Adrenaline is pumping. Adrenaline is pumping. Generator. Automatic lover. If you don't know, look it up. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these? Make life give the lemons back. Make them rue the day that they give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? Anyway, I think that's pretty much conclusive that in order for the bots to not get completely confused, you're going to need to make sure that you have at least one of whatever the heck it is that you have already put in there. I'm the man who's going to burn your house down. I'm going to have my guys make a combustible lemon that burns your house down. Poor Cave Johnson. All he wanted to do was do science. Out of the safety protocols of, you know, the regular setup in the industry. I'm trying to remember what my favorite Cave Johnson quote is. I think it's the one that was about, you know, so we called you all in to be a part of the testing initiative where we were going to inject you with praying mantis DNA. Well, I've got some good news and I got some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those events indefinitely. Good news is that we have a new event for you to be a part of. Fighting an army of mantis men. How many tea bags would it take to turn a lake into a giant cup of tea? I don't know, maybe ask the British. Oh, that joke that would have been so much better if I said, I don't know, maybe you should ask Boston. Gotta say, those fish, they must have been dining on some pretty good water that day. Probably died, actually. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. I think we are set and ready. So these guys are being fed their favorite thing in the whole wide world. Awesome. What are these guys' favorite food? Is it just regular chickens? I don't know. They're carnivores. Oh, not achievements. What am I... Oh, their favorite is unknown. So that's one gigantic question mark for me. So I'd have to, like, figure it out. Whatever. I know for a fact that the stony hens are these guys' favorite. And speaking of which, you know, your little chicken bath is actually a little bit low. Yeah. You believe that means they have no favorite food? Aw, man. There was a part of me that was like, ooh, well, if they've got a favorite, maybe it's like hidden, a hidden favorite because, you know, they weren't documented at any point in history, so nobody knows what their favorite is. Waka waka. What is this YouTube video? Oh. It's a mystery. When life gives you lemons, squeeze the lemons back into life's eyes. Squawk. I see you guys really like that chicken toy. That's good. Okay, head back on track. What was I doing? I believe what I was doing was... this way. Oh my god. Back to work! How we doing on chicken population? Oh, whoa. He passed right through the barrier. Okay, I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm giving you a new patch of briar hens. Please be kind. So dizzy. Wow. We've already been going for a really long time tonight. But with this, again, with this game, I just, like, lose myself in it. I completely forget about, like, everything else. Howdy, sir. Are you the guys that are making that noise? Wow, I think you are. I think you guys might be pissed. Okay. I think now might be an excellent time to actually feed them in some capacity. So let's do that, shall we? Oh, but not before doing something very special. Something that I should have done a long time ago. There we go. Come on. Eat it up. There he goes. Tentacle kitties. Okay, there we go. We don't have a whole lot of painted hens here. Again, that's not going to be for a while because we're still waiting on a good population of them to show up. But I can still do this. There we go. You'll be fed soon. So don't worry your little heads. And how we doing over here? Question. Oh, shoot. That technically works, but it doesn't look like it makes much soot. Oh yeah, we got 28 of these things. Neat. I have no idea how important fire ports will end up being, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and stash a bunch of them for now. Again, games like these, they've pretty much taught me that having a little bit of a stock of everything is a good thing. Because you never know when, like, an ingredient will come up sometime at the end of the game that says, all right, you need literally every single thing you can collect in this game in this final recipe. Oh, hi, Boba. How you doing? Oh, God. So many chickens are just being eaten alive. Anyway. Oh. Oh, might as well top it off. Busy day at work. Oh, neat. Without giving any specific information about location or anything like that, where do you work? I'm curious. And if, again, if you're asking how I'm doing, fairly well. I wasn't feeling all that great yesterday. I'm a little bit better, but still not like 100%. Still kind of stuffy. But I'm good. Barf. I think talking's actually helping it, so yeah. Oh, you work at an Amazon facility. Nice. Oh, well, okay. Nice is not the word for it. Yay, you work for Jeff Bezos! No, 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 no. That isn't a good thing. All I hope is that the Amazon facility that you work for is at least treating you properly. That's about it. It's about all I can pray for. I know I've heard of a couple of different people that I know. Funny enough, like, it's weird that, like, 2 different accounts of this have recently happened, but there's a couple of people that I know. They're currently working at a job place where they're about to open up, like, this new standard of their job, and in order for, in order to have employees for said job, they're going to need people pretty high up on the chain of command to pick up those jobs. And so I know a couple of people that are just like, they're currently in the runnings to potentially get a pretty good, like, brand new position for the job, and it would be a pretty good paying job too. And that's nice, but I also feel like that particular position is also going to be a heck of a lot of work too. You're liking it so far. It's a lot of physical labor, but 15 hours and dental/eye... Oh, wait. $15 an hour and dental/eye insurance benefits is good. That's good, because I've actually worked at some places that they didn't even give me that. It was like full 8-hour work days, and I was getting like $9. And just like, because of the technicality of what the job was classified as, they couldn't pay me any... Well, okay, they didn't want to pay me any more than $9 an hour. Jeff Bezos, no. Exactly. Your area has been hiring several associates at once. Yeah, what the heck's going on in the corporate world? Jeff Quiznos. I could go for a sub right now. Damn it. I've been good, man. I've been actually following this diet that I keep on talking about. I've been proper. I have not been cheating. And like I said, the only reason why I'm having a Pepsi right now is because I can actually fit it in my diet. And even then, it's a small one. And I'm taking baby sips. I don't know, there's something comforting about it, so... Oh, but no, I don't really go into too much about, like, my previous work stories and whatnot. I forget if I've ever talked about that one really bad job that I had a long time ago. I do not really want to give too much information just because, you know, I don't want to feel like you guys should go and, like, attack them because I hold no real grudge against anybody that's working there. More like the main guy who is the CEO of the place and the decisions he was making about it. It was scum. The fact that I was pretty much working 8-hour work days where I was on my feet and walking for a considerable amount of it, and doing a heck of a lot of labor, you know, that should give you an idea about the fact that this place wasn't all that great when it came to work quality. Boba says, when I got hired last month, a friend of yours had asked to punch Jeff Bezos for him. Unfortunately, Jeff Bezos has probably locked himself up in a, you know, a hyperbolic chamber that is keeping his youth in check and, you know, shielding him and protecting him from all types of, like, nuclear fallout. So, yeah, you'll probably never see him. No, but to not go into too much detail about my previous job at one point, I'm gonna try and give the description of this job as, like, basic as I possibly could. So, technically, where I used to work, it is technically classified as a lab, meaning that it's paying the people that are working there on a salary of, like, a lab, you know, sort of a science lab of some kind. But the thing is, it's set up in no way, shape, or form logistically like an actual laboratory. Like, all intents and purposes, this place was a factory. It just had the lab stamp put on it because they technically, by law, they passed the regulations involved for them to be called a lab. So that means that, you know, because it's not a factory, they can't be forced to be doing, like, factory level type of labor policies or, like, you know, they can't give wages that a factory would have to give somebody. So, yeah, consider that. Factory level type of work, except you're getting the prices of just, like, working at some kind of a science lab. Jeff Bezos is a pseudonym for Dracula from Symphony of the Night. I'm pretty sure that's not a case. What is a man? A miserable little pile of online shopping. But enough talk. Have Amazon Prime. That sounds rough. Sorry I had to go through that kind of experience. Oh, I quit. I straight up quit. And the thing is, I quit, like, out of nowhere. And I'm going to say I don't usually do that. If I have to leave a job place, I try and give a 2 weeks notice if I possibly can. I don't want to be that jerk, because I know what that's like when you're working some kind of a bad job and then somebody just up and leaves. Because then suddenly everybody else has to pick up the slack that you left. But it was Quitby. Damn it. But again, the circumstances weren't all that great. So, okay. Let me go ahead and layer on even more negative things about this job, though. The job, this was the infamous night shift that I pulled. And let me tell you something. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're lined up that the only thing you could possibly get in short notice is a night shift at wherever you work, just try to avoid it. Do whatever you can to not get the night shift, because the night shift is miserable. I know there's a lot of people that they can function with the night shift. They're a lot better with it. I'm not one of those people. I like having some sunlight, or at least having the option of seeing sunlight. It feels like you're a vampire when you can't go out in the daylight. It sucks. Oboba says, I got some boppy muscles, though, and it's a good workout. I mean, by the time you're working there for a year, you're probably going to be a tank. Hope I'm working at a much better job now. Oh, don't worry. I'm doing a heck of a lot better now. you know, I don't feel the need to rant online about my previous job. So there's a plus. But anyway, again, night shift. And because it's the night shift, there are not a whole lot of people that are interested in working that job. So that means the turnaround for new people showing up at your job to take care of whatever needs to be done, not very much. It's very slow. It takes a very long time for you to finally get some people in that, you know, okay. We'll get to that. But anyway, all right, so what else should I be doing right about now? Oh, actually, I could go and check out the, those dispensers that I put down. So anyways, yeah. It's the night shift, so there's not a whole lot of people that are working that shift. And the problem is that we still have a certain amount of product that we need to finish in like a limited period of time. And I was working on the conveyor belts in many different stations of that job. And again, to keep it as vague as humanly possible, again, it's just a whole bunch of like individual jobs, and they all have tiny little intricate little differences between all of them. And that means that, I mean, for the most part, it's... Do I hear a lucky cat? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. Hello, glass shard. A solid fragment of frozen fire. Ooh. Very nice. So Tim has apparently posted... It's Amazon Prime. Autobots. So it's like learning each part over again because it's slightly different. No, not exactly. Also, what the heck is this? This doesn't look like fire. Silky sand. Achievement unlocked. Hat trick. Finest, smoothest sand you'll ever see. Rubbish for sand castles. No, basically, everything has got tiny little differences in it. So that means you have to pay a lot of extra attention to every little individual thing. So basically, you need to be read up on a lot of different elements about what the job is. And it takes a heck of a lot of work in order to work at this factory. Like, you know, it was definitely a science lab. There was a heck of a lot of things that you needed to know, and you needed to have a decent amount of knowledge about a lot of the stuff that you were doing while you were there. Oh, Mabley didn't make this, but... Oh, dear freaking lord. Rise from the depths of hell and slap your balls. Yeah, okay, alright, for God's sakes, for people that don't... Alright. For context's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and post this on the stream. I'm gonna guess that was happening during that Jackbox stream over in the AU server, right? I was there for a brief period, but I had to leave because I had some more stuff that I had to do for the the stream. Good frickin' Jeebus. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. So okay, you get the gist of like what this job is. Like, it's a factory job where you are working on a lot of individual little basically little orders. And it takes a heck of a lot of knowledge on, like, little intricacies about each individual one in order for you to be able to do it proper. And also, there are a lot of different stations that you need to be in. Some of them, some of them do some cleaning. Some of them do shaping. Some of them do a whole cacophony of different things in order to, like, put these things together. Like I said, this was essentially a factory job, except it was technically not a factory job. This was, oh no, technically we're classified as something entirely different. And technically, no, it absolutely totally wasn't. What the fuck? Gilded Ginger. Very few Ransers will ever read this. Huh? What's Gilded Ginger? Huh? I did the thing? Hold the phone. Favored by gold slimes. Oh, interesting. Oh, curiously, gilded ginger cannot be replicated in a garden as its unusual biological properties prohibit it. However, there is perhaps another use for it. Said to be the holy grail of veggies, gilded ginger can very rarely be found growing in the glass desert. It is the only known food that a gold slime will eat, and the few that have seen it claim that doing so will greatly reward the lucky rancher. Well, I don't want to just carry this freaking thing around with me. But what the heck could potentially happen if I run into a gold slime with this thing? Gilded ginger is the rarest item in the game. I guessed. Interesting. Give me a second. I need to go clear out these guys. All right, so now that distraction is over with, let me get back to ranting about my previous job. One spawns in every in-game day at 6 a.m. in a random spot in the glass desert. Oh, dear Lord. So, yeah, I was very fortunate that I found it then. Whoa, hello. What are you? Pepper jam! Sweet, spicy, and delicious. Bees are awesome. What the heck's pepper jam? That's kind of amazing. Okay, I don't know what the... I guess this is going to be an end game sort of thing. Sounds neat. I'm going to go and put a bunch of this stuff away. Question, can I put that gilded ginger in the... Oh, where do I put that? Using it in a Master Gordo snare results in a... Oh my god. So, wait, a Master Gordo... Oh. A giant gold slime? Oh my god. I kind of want to do that. That sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna pick up this gadget. Okay, well, you have all of my attention now. Right, let's get back to talking about the thing. Although there is a catch to the Golden Gordo. I'm sure there is. You know, honestly, I think I would just want to have a Golden Gordo sitting around for kicks and giggles' sake. I hope the Gilded... oh, right. So technically the Gilded Gordo would only be able to eat these Gilded Ginger, wouldn't they? Yeah, it seems like that would be the case. Golden Gordo can only be fed more gilded ginger, although it only requires 3. So I was correct about that one. Well, you know what? I say let's do it. At the very least, it's going to be a very interesting set piece. Oh, cool. I like that. All right. Let's get back to the desert and grab the rest of that honey stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. You can get back to your story. No, it's cool. No, I need as much positivity as I possibly can, you know, when I'm talking about that freaking stupid job that I had. Anywho's, I've pretty much explained, you know, I'm pretty sure I talked about this on stream at one point, but I don't know. For people that have not heard the story, I might as well continue. So you get what I mean. We're making an absolute crap ton of these things, usually somewhere, oh man, somewhere within like the several thousands. I'm going to say that. Several thousands every single day, and we need to hit like a certain capita of how many of these products we need to finish every single day. And there were so many things that were really wrong about the system that they currently had set up. Like, it's a bunch of systems that were really old and they existed for a long period of time within the business. However, new management came in at one point, And the new management was not very interested in some of the old ways that we were doing things. Like, there were a lot of quality of life types of things for the workers to give them a reason to work hard and, you know, move faster. So basically, there would be like some incentives for like paychecks. Like if you can complete this specific threshold, everybody will get a bonus. Like everybody. And so because of this, everybody would everybody would work extra hard every single day just to try and get that incentive. And for the most part, like, yeah, like there wasn't a great chance that you would get it, but there was a chance. Like if everybody was working very exceptionally, then yeah, there's a good chance that we'd all get incentive. The problem is new management moved in and they decided they weren't going to completely get rid of the incentive program. Instead, they decided to readjust it so that the incentive program would be close to impossible to actually achieve. So they would set the bar extremely high and make it nearly impossible for anyone to be able to do it. And the only times that there would even be potentially an incentive cracking type of situation would be if we were working overtime. And then in that circumstance, they had several circumstances where that actually happened. Like they were working overtime and they managed to break their incentive goal. And everybody would be excited about it. And then corporate would come down and they would say, "Oh, sorry, technically you guys were working overtime and we're already paying you enough, so that actually doesn't really count towards your incentive goal. So yeah, you guys still didn't get your incentive." So it's just like, what the heck was the point of this system even working in the first place? Like, why even keep it? Why continue to, like, keep people on a leash like that? That doesn't sound very ethical. I know, right? It's almost like I didn't want to work there anymore. Again, it didn't matter what the heck it would be. Like, at the end of the day, they would come up with some kind of an excuse not to give people incentive. Did you guys have overtime pay at least? Yes. I'll get on that. Anyway. By the way, how much honey... I should really shut off the honey plort thing. I definitely need to get some more at some point. Carrot on a stick, exactly. Just like, you almost got it. You almost got the thing. And then at the end of the day, everyone would just get pissed off. Just like, I'm not even going to chase the carrot anymore. Like, who cared? Like, we never actually get it, so screw it. Give them a bad review on Indeed. Oh. I don't know. Again, I'm not very confrontational with the actual business itself. I'm more upset with the fact that the new CEO of the place that took over pretty much just completely destroyed a whole lot of the quality of life elements of the business. Mostly because, all right, I'm just going to say this. The business before it was bought out, it was actually kind of... it was struggling a little bit. You know, like there was a lot of money that was bleeding everywhere, and basically the CEO, like the new CEO, plugged all those holes and then some. And was making like a heck of a lot of profit. Here's a funny story about that though. The frustrating thing, and this happens with a whole lot of job places though. Frustrating thing is that they would have these like work meetings where a good like 2 hours of the day, they would just take everybody and they would sit them down in the break room. And they would tell everybody, it's like, okay, we're going to have a little presentation about how the business is currently doing. And then they would sit down, and there would be a representative of the business there to answer any questions that people were asking about. And they would show, like, a quick film of some kind. Like, a quick short film talking about just all the gains that the business got. Just like, oh, this is how good our current business is currently doing. And a lot of businesses do this. You know, they like to toot their own horn. Just like, oh, yeah, we're so great. Look at how great the last quarter was. And specifically, when I was working there, they... during that business... I didn't work there for very long, I should mention. But while I was working there, they had just recently, in the new year, managed to break the $1 billion profit margin, which that's a major thing for them. Like, that was very huge. And they kept on toting that around, just being like, yep, like the business is finally making $1 billion a year. We've finally done it. We've cracked that, and y'all should be very proud. Meanwhile, everybody's just thinking, okay, so does that mean we're going to get any kind of a raise? Like, does that mean that we're going to get any kind of better profits ourselves? No, it was never, you never got that. It was just like, they were just trying to flaunt things and be like, oh, you don't want to, you guys are leeches at the underside of our business, so you guys don't want to let go just soon. You got plenty of food right here. You don't want to go anywhere. Boba says, I think those business folks struggle to realize that workers aren't just a statistic in their business. Or robots. 10 quintillion pesos. Oh, no, they didn't really care much about that. Again, they were making a profit, and as long as they could make a profit, they're fine with it. Okay, also, but while we're talking about the break room and all that, let's go ahead and talk about breaks. All right, now, Boba, just for like comparison's sake, I don't know if this is like industry standard or not, but Boba, let me know, how long were your break times and how often can you take them? That's what I want to know. We're making a stack of diamond blocks every year. What were the purpose of these presentations? Again, literally it was just a, hey, you don't want to leave a profiting business, right? We're profiting. And you might profit along with us if you stick around. Of course, they're, spoilers, they never have any intention of actually having people stick around. Your break time is 15 minutes for every 4 to 6 hours. Okay, yeah, that's a very short break time, definitely. I will say, I didn't have a very good break time either. Basically, it was a 10-minute break every 4 hours. So I'm right around where your was. I mean, yours is. But I can tell you this, it's not a very comfortable break. Like, 10 minutes is not nearly enough time for you to be able to do anything. Like, the best you can do is maybe eat a half of a sandwich and like a handful of chips, and then run back out. And you're gonna want to eat something, because unless you want to live your entire life off of energy drinks, you're gonna have to put a little bit of food into you. So that's literally what I would do for pretty much all of the breaks that I did. I would just like shovel food in my mouth and run. Boba says, yeah, it's even worse when I forget to eat breakfast and I starve the entire shift. Oh, for God's sakes, eat something. Please eat something. Food is good for you. Sometimes you have to stuff food in your mouth. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like rushing eating, because you just feel bloated and disgusting afterwards. And then yeet off. Here. Oh, happy boys. Sort of. Kind of. Let me feed these guys some more of these hens. Do I have to actually like be in this area in order for these guys to actually spawn? Or, for the babies to actually start growing? I wonder about that. Could somebody look into that? Goodbye! Oh, shoot. Not a whole lot of stuff in there. I love those roostros. They're round and cute. I burn them all. Gotta eat fast and then feel crippling stomach cramps. You got it. Exactly. So anyways, yeah, breaks were not all that great. And they expect you to get back on your shift. Oh, hello, Toxic. I'm currently playing, this. Right now I'm currently talking about my previous work experience, so yeah, there's a whole lot of fun for you. I hope it's not too ridiculously toxic. I don't like to talk about it. Well, all right. I do like to vent in some capacity, but it's not a fun subject, is what I'm saying. Here, let me go ahead and just, like, raise this up a bit. Here, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Have you ever snuck into the restroom to extend your break? No. Unfortunately, no. I've thought about it. I thought about it several times. But, one, I am a little bit too, like, I'm a little bit too trustworthy of an individual. Like, anybody who knows me or anybody that I've worked with, you can pretty much guarantee that I'm trustworthy. You're gonna... I don't want to fluff my own horn. Fluff my own horn, what the hell? Fluff my ego or toot my own horn is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to give myself too many compliments. But because of the fact that I'm so trustworthy and so honest, at the end of the day, that's not really good for me because that means I won't try and take advantage in any situation. You know, I'll be very much to the books. Fluff your own horn, yes. Blows a tuba and feathers fly out. Oh god, that image. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Right, while we're talking about, you know, like, the whole, like... Here's the thing. One, I'm way too trustworthy, so I can't really do something like that. I wouldn't be able to have it in myself to be able to do something like that. You does trombone. Oh, you play trombone. Or were you trying to say something else there? I have no clue. Anyway, but on top of the fact that I'm way too trustworthy about that stuff, you also have your own individual work quotas. So if you are not hitting your quota, you're going to get in trouble. Now, your work quota, it's definitely possible. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing ridiculous. But essentially, if your numbers come back in the system and it looks like you're not quite doing what you're supposed to be doing at your workplace, then you could potentially get cited and you'll get in trouble. So yeah, even if I did want to go and like hide in the bathroom for a period of time just to extend my my break period, you really can't because the computers are tracking everything you do. And if you're not scanning in your work and showing them, it's just like, yeah, I'm working. Corporate entities, I'm doing my thing. Then they're going to start asking questions. And that's not something that you want them to do. So yeah, it's in your best interest to continue to work. You get tracked a lot at the Amazon facility too. Yeah, it sounds like a whole lot of factory workers get tracked like that. Again, like I said, it's hilarious considering I wasn't technically working in a factory, so I didn't even get factory pay. So there's that issue. Now, I mentioned before that third shift didn't really have a whole lot of people working on it. You know, that's what we called, that's what we called night shift, third shift, because there are like 3 shifts in total. 2 during the day, and then 1 during graveyard shift. There are not a whole lot of people were interested in getting that job, so anybody that they could possibly get their hands on, they would at least try to make sure that they kept them around as much as they possibly could, but there's only so much you can do with all the things, all the bullcrap that corporate attempts to try and throw in your face. But at the end of the day, it was extremely understaffed. There was barely anybody that was working there. And most of the people that did work there were either extremely young individuals, and I'm talking like 16, 17-year-old, who just need some kind of a, either a summer job or some kind of a job during school or something like that. Aw, Pink's heading off to bed. All right, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you stopping in and watching the stream. It's been fun. Anyway, again, 16-year-olds who just, like, they need to get some kind of a job during either summer or in the middle of, like, school days where they've done their homework and that, you know, they have nothing else better to do. Or, like, older people who are still working off of the Well, essentially, they actually have some kind of a wage that was based off of the old wages that the company used to give. And at that point, it would be silly for them to drop their job, so they just keep working there anyways. Like, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, if I were to leave this job, I'd suddenly lose this wage. And it was just like, and I'm 60 years old, and I don't really have too many other places that I could work with, so I guess I'm stuck here. So, that's basically like the two people that really work there. Are the old folks there tenured? I mean, basically, yeah. They're kind of at a point where they're making a whole bunch of money off of their stuff, and well, here's the thing: tenured is not something that happens with that job, unfortunately. It's just a case of the current amount of money that they're making based off of the wages and the raises that they got over the course of the whole time that they worked at the place. Like, they don't want to give that up, and nowhere else would hire them, so they just keep sticking around. But there is another group of workers there. Now, again, I would just like to preface this by saying that we all need work. We all need to make some kind of a profit. We need to make money. We need to live. However, there is one thing that I don't even really want to talk about this, just because people are going to take it the wrong ass way. But one thing that the company did a lot was they were an open responsible employer that would bring in migrant workers. Now, again, it's absolutely and totally fine if you are a migrant in the country and you want to get some work. You know, that's my stance on it, and I really hope that is respectable and understandable. I'm totally cool with it. However, a lot of migrant workers, like, wherever they were living previously, their life was a hell of a lot worse than it is inside that factory. And it's my opinion that the establishment were taking full advantage of that. And the fact that, like, they're workers that will not complain, and as long as you try and teach them, like, the most tiny, basic little things about how the job works, you can pretty much set them on a conveyor belt and they won't complain and they'll do their work, and there's very little that you really have to cover about them. So, again, it's totally fine for them to be working there, but I noticed that there were a lot more migrant workers that were moving into those positions than anybody else that I could possibly see. Again, that is fine. But one of the frustrating things about that, though, is the fact that with a lot of the migrant workers, there was a language barrier. God bless the people that were trying their very hardest to try and communicate back with us, or, like, trying to learn English. I really respected and I loved working with those guys. But then, of course, you had some other people that they would not be learning English. They really wouldn't care. They would also have a lot of attitude the entire time you were working there. And in general, they were just making things a heck of a lot harder, and it's hard to communicate back and forth, just being like, hey, this needs to be done. Can you please take care of this? And they either wouldn't care, or like, they wouldn't understand, or they wouldn't care. One of the two. But, like, more and more as I worked there, it was a whole lot less people that, like, could actually communicate in, like, full English. And it was a heck of a lot more people that were the migrant workers that were living there. I mean, like, basically living there. You saw them, like, every freaking day. Language barriers makes the world difficult for sure, yeah. Again, I respect the hell out of them for getting out of, like, the crappy environment that they were and trying to make a name for themselves. Like, that's awesome. I support them 100%, but at the exact same time, I'm a little bit more angry from the corporate side of things. Toxic's gotta get going. And thanks for watching. Sorry if it got kind of, like, bleak at the very end of this. Again, I don't know. That's a subject that I really didn't want to bring up here. just because it's kind of awkward and I don't really know how to express it delicately. Boba says, only had a few experiences at work where I couldn't communicate to someone because of a language barrier. Yeah, it sucks and it really hurts because you really want to be able to work with them. It's hard. You don't think there is a way to express it delicately. Yeah, that's why I didn't really even want to express it in the first place. But here's the thing. That's the least of my problems, so. Like, that's totally fine. You appreciate me, Sharon? Oh, thank you, I guess. So, what other things are there about this place? There's one particular thing that I'm saving for, like, latter end of this, because, like, this is all coming up to a boil. I'll let you know. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about the communication issues. Here's the thing. All right, we're talking about communication and communicating with your workers. Well, on top of the fact that I really can't communicate with the workers, I'm also having a very difficult time communicating with just all of my coworkers in general. And the reason being is that there's really no open forum or open way to be able to do so. So, like, on the side of trying to talk to your coworkers, that really didn't happen. Everybody had their cliques. It was like freaking high school. Everyone was separated, and it was very difficult to be able to talk with anybody. Boba says, I also appreciate the foreign folks working to try to bridge the language barrier, but you have some workers who like to shit talk behind your back in their language. That's what really sucks. Now, luckily, I don't know if I really ran into something like that. For the most part, I was kind of a wallflower. You know, like, nobody really had any kind of major beef with me, not really. I did my job, and that was about the end of it. I didn't really talk with anybody. I kind of, again, blended into the wall and not much else. So, there's one thing. Anyway, let's talk about the communication between the administration and the managers, because that wasn't fun. Management would not really communicate with us at all about what the heck was going on from a day-to-day basis. Like, not really. And usually, whenever we had something that we needed to know about, we wouldn't know about it until very late into the day, or, like, into the moment. For example, if there was something really important that we needed to do tomorrow, they would tell us the day before. You know, like... And this is important stuff involved with, like, your shift and your hours. Like, that kind of a thing. As well as if there was some kind of specific announcement that they needed to make. There was another thing that they really didn't like to, like, jump on board with. Which is frustrating, because all of the decisions that are made about the place and about the lab facility, all this stuff is made in advance. Like, they have all the statistics about when the busy seasons were, and they definitely followed them to a T. But the thing is, they never let any of us know. And they knew about this stuff, again, months in advance. And they could let us know, like, a week before we started, like... You know, before the hammer came down and we were starting to work extra hard. They never did that. Just one day, you know, there are some days where you'd come in and it's just really chill and work's, like, really quick and you didn't really need to do any kind of work. There were some days where we just left early. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Whatever. I guess I'll stay up for a little longer because I don't want to mess with my sleep schedule. Shoot. But again, then there were days where you're just like, oh my god, how are we going to finish everything in this short period of time? What the hell? Why have you told us to do all this work? Like, there's another dilemma about this stuff. And they kept... The administration kept on feigning, basically faking some kind of communication with us. Here's a stupid story that I should tell you. This actually happened before I actually joined the place. I heard about it, like, after the fact. But I guess they decided to start up this thing where they had this little drop box and a set of notes next to it. And they told all the workers, like, hey, if there's anything that we could improve about your job experiences and your work here. Write down what you'd like to write down, what you'd like us to change on a piece of paper and put it in the box. We'll take a look at all the recommendations, and then we'll decide about, like, maybe if we want to make some kind of adjustments. And people were like, oh, hey, that's kind of nice. An anonymous survey, pretty much, yeah. But here's the thing. Everybody at the plant knew exactly what it was that we all wanted. Well, okay, what they wanted. I wasn't working at the time. But what everybody wanted was, you know, a raise in our in the profits and stuff. You know, like everybody wanted to be making more money. And that's kind of the end of it. And that's not a completely unreasonable thing to ask for, by the way. Because again, you're not making a heck of a lot. Like, you're basically making the minimum wage for factory work. Write down what you want to write down. Write this. All I can think is that one TF2 expiration date clip. Does it say you want the bucket? Yes. Just hands in the bucket. Anyway, no, everybody wanted, like, better work compensation. They wanted more money out of it. And it was actually so bad, and I guess this was happening, like, on many different plants, like, company-wide. It was so bad that the actual, like, CEO had to make a video, an actual, like, well-edited and presented video directly expressing to everybody in the company why it was they couldn't get raises. And every excuse that they gave them was bullshit. Like, they threw a whole lot of corporate jargon at them, and that's about it. Maple Lee is going to head up for now. Well, thanks for coming into the stream. I appreciate it. I'm going to be ended sometime pretty soon. I guess after I'm done talking about the work stories. But yeah, how frustrating is that? Like, everybody basically says, hey, we're not being paid nearly enough money for what we're doing. Like, can we get paid better? And then they have the balls to be like, here is a full written out doctrine exactly why we can't pay you more. Despite the fact that it wasn't always that way. And I get that the company was bleeding out at some point, but we're not asking for people to be bleeding out. Like, I don't want to lose my job because the company was handing out money. Like, you know, it's like, I don't want the company to just be throwing out, you know, money dollar bills like it's burning a hole in their pocket and they're at a strip joint and they got to make it rain. Like, I'm not saying they need to do that. I'm just saying, like, it's got to be at least comparable with the work that you're doing. A verbose response to say, no, we don't want to pay you because we're stingy. Yes. Holla, holla, get dollar. Ayu, ayu, ayu. What was the point of putting up that survey? Again, it was sort of a, you know, a showing of humility, being like, oh, hey guys, we're totally going to listen to you. Yeah, go ahead. Ask us for whatever you want. We want better pay. Oh, okay, let's not go nuts here. Just don't get your panties in a bunch. There's a perfectly logical reason why we can't do that. It's like, well, if you like money so much, why don't you marry it? So, you know, there's that issue. Basically, if you had any kind of complaints, corporate wouldn't give two shits, and likely they'd just ignore whatever it was you had a problem with. You can have whatever you want. Can I have $1? No. There's that issue. Okay, here's another story. This is more of just a kind of a lol what the hell kind of story. This is a story about a particular worker that was working there that was, he got fed up with the place. Now, let's be fair. It's absolutely and completely fair that he got fed up. Just like, let's not kid ourselves. Yes, I completely understand why. But rather than just quitting, or rather than putting in 2-week notice, he made probably the worst decision that he possibly could. He would hit his quotas. Like, he would make sure that he was hitting the amount of product that he needed to make as he was working there. But as he was working there, he would also cause as much damage to the place as he possibly could without, like, the potential of getting arrested. So essentially, he would, like, go to certain machines and he would, like, intentionally jam them. He would, like, knock trays over and things. He would basically destroy whatever property he could while getting away with it. But he would still hit quota. And the problem with this is that because he's hitting quota, corporate can't come down on him and start, like, questioning him. And it's going to take a very long time for the managers of the place to be able to send any kind of a notice saying, hey, this guy is the worst guy we have ever seen in our lives. Can we please kick him out? And it's going to take forever because, like, you know, they're never going to be able to get at them, like, really early. Seems like he had anger issues, and that kind of damage would make it more difficult for other people to work. Exactly. He's just kind of fucking over everybody else at the plant just because he's had it up to here with working at the place. And guess what? Thanks to the fact that they couldn't just fire him outright, they had to wait for an entire month before they could do anything. And then by the time the month came around, they were just like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to let you go. And he immediately just walked out. Just like, all right, cool, see ya. But he was smart. I can understand his frustration. Man, I can understand why he would be upset. But at the same time, to completely screw over everybody else too. Boba says, I'd probably do something like that, but definitely not at the expense of the other people working there. Yeah, again, same here. That's exactly why I put in 2-week notices. Just so, like, you know, the corporate head will know I'm leaving. That way, they can do something about it and fill in the hole so that there's plenty of people working when I leave. You know, that way I'm not being a complete jerk to everybody that's already there. So there's one story. Let me think about some other things. Okay, right. Let's go down to the nitty-gritty stuff, and let's talk about all the work that I had to do. Because I still have not, like, I haven't even gotten around to what I did at the place. Now, again, for the sake of making sure that I keep this as vague as possible, I'm just going to say, I'm basically going to tell you, I had a lot of jobs, okay, like, and I would be doing pretty much all of them within, like, split moments within the entire place. Now, keep in mind, the place, it didn't have a lot of workers, which meant that there were a lot of things that needed to be done. So I just kept on having work piled on me. And I didn't know this, but apparently a lot of the work that I was doing was, it was being, like, smoothed out between 2 or 3 people during day shifts. Apparently, I wasn't even supposed to be doing as much work as I was, but the only reason I was doing that much work is because they didn't have anybody to be able to do them. So, you know, it was my job to be a part of this one factory line, also do some inspections over here. I was also supposed to go and work on some machines over in the corner. I was also supposed to walk over to the end of the line and resort things out. You know, like, I was doing a whole lot of things all at once. And it's because they didn't have a whole lot of people working there, and any able-bodied person they could possibly get a hold of, oh, they would absolutely exploit the hell out of them. Because it's just like, oh my god, you know English and electronics, and you're responsible, and you'll do anything we say? Whoa. That's a cocktail for destruction! And so, yeah, they rode my ass pretty hard, and they would make me do a whole lot of shit at that place. And it got to the point where I was getting so strung out, and I was doing so many different random things, that at a certain point, I just stopped giving 2 shits about paying attention to, like, the actual quality of my work. And here's the thing. Again, anybody who has worked with me before, you can vouch for this. When I do some kind of work on something, I go the extra mile. As much as I possibly can. Like, I'll go out of my way to do something just for the sake of making, like, corporate happy. Just because, like, I want to look like the good boy. So, yeah, I was doing all this work. So, to push me to a point where I don't even really want to put in 100% anymore because it's just going to wear me the hell out at the end of the day, you know you fucked up. And so, yeah, I stopped caring. And there was even one point. So let's talk about, like, the absolute worst that it got. Basically, they were telling me to do all of this stuff. Again, monitoring these work lines. They wanted me to monitor these machines. They wanted me to sort out one specific line that, like, needed to be sorted by hand. There was no automatic machine that could do it. And then, okay, what else? Oh, yeah, I was also trying to do some, like, inspection stuff of, yeah, in the event there was some kind of, like, a malfunction of some kind, I needed to make, if there was any kind of sorry, this is probably combobulated as all hell, but if there were any kind of malfunctions on the line involved with a certain product, like jamming up the machine or jamming up the, the factory line itself, I had to go in and I had to inspect it and figure out, okay, well, why did that happen? And here's where, like, the straw finally, like, the final straw that broke the camel's back for me. They told me that I also needed to sort out the end of the factory line. Now, in order to do this, you have to actually actively go out there and sort out all the trays that are at the end of the line by date. So the ones that have been on the factory line the longest, you need to put them out there at, like, the front of the line. And the ones that are, like, basically brand new, you have to put them, like, basically, here's how it worked. Most of the time, if the factory line is clogged, you need to take all of the work trays that are as new as possible, as fresh as possible, scan them out, which basically means that you're scanning them off the line, and then scan them to a spot on the floor. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Sorry, I don't want to dispense all of my roosters. Sorry, I'm very distracted. Come to think of it here, how about you guys just take those? Ooh, a lot of chickens in here. I want to grab these. Anyway, again, by date, and anything that's, like, brand spanking new, if the lines are way too clogged up, you take them and then you scan them to the floor. Now, let me talk about how many of these things could potentially be on the floor. Now, these trays are actually stacked up on top of each other, like, once they reach the end of the line. And these are trays that are, like, 9 trays high. And it's, like, 20 trays that you have to take and scan to the floor. And these are not, like, you know, these aren't super heavy trays, but they're obnoxiously, like, unwieldy as hell, and you have to cross your fingers that you don't accidentally tip them over, because they're open on the top. So again, you need to, it's like stacks of 9 and 20 of them. Like, do the math. That's a heck of a lot of product that you need to scan out manually and put on the floor. And you know what's even more frustrating than that? They also want to make sure that I am monitoring my my line, and they want to make sure that I'm monitoring the machines. And in the event that any of the machines start going off and saying just like, hey, there's an emergency, something's wrong, come check us out, I have to drop what I'm doing, go over there, which, by the way, the end of the line is all the way across the, it's all the way across the factory. Like, I'm at, like, the exact opposite of where the end of the line is. And so I have to walk all the way across the factory over to where the machines are, fix the machines, walk back over to where the end of the line is, continue to sort out the trays that I need to sort, put them on the floor. If the machines go off again, which they tend to, they just go off complete randomly, you know, go back over to my machines, fix them, go back to the to the conveyor line, scan the rest of the stuff out, come back over to those machines, and then get back to work. Oh, Funnystuf got back after eating, grabbing some pizza. Sweet! Sorry, I'm complaining about trays. So, yeah, just picture all of that. Picture needing to constantly being pulled away from your spot on the line to go and sort things out at the other end of the line. That is complete opposite of where you are, and you're working with hundreds of trays and trying to, like, sort all of them out by date. They really shouldn't have put so much responsibility on me. I know, right? And that's why I got so goddamn lethargic. Sorry if I'm salty as all hell. I'm not being salty on you, I'm salty on them. Way too much work for one person. Oh yeah, and I showed them that it was more than, too much work for one person. Because you know what I did? If I needed to go and sort out the line at the end, I would go out there, I would start sorting out the line, and I would ignore the machines. And you know what that means? The machines are no longer moving product. And therefore, they're not making nearly as much money as they should be. And my floor manager that was working over the whole place, she got pissed at me. Like, she was very actively about to chew me the hell out. But here's the thing. What are you going to chew me out for? Like, are you seriously going to try and put up some kind of stink about the fact that I'm not Superman and I can't do everything under the sun? So really, I knew I was in a position where there was nothing that she could actually do about it. You know, I wasn't being destructive, and I was making the proper calls. Like, I'm literally doing a completely impossible thing. Funnystuf says time to bring in this song. Salt. How were injuries reported at your workplace? Amazon practically forces people to report any form or injury ASAP. Yes, that happened too. I mean, I didn't really have too much issues with that. I'll get on that at some point. But anyway, so again, she just walked up to me and it's just like, "Hey, your machines are going off." In the bitchiest way she possibly could, by the way. It's just like, "Hey, your machines are going off." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And she looks at me and it's just like, "You're supposed to go and work on your machines when they're going off." And I said to her back, I'm like, "Huh, funny that." And I just continued to, like, sort the line. What's she gonna do about my attitude, really? Like, for God's sakes. Go ahead and fire me, but good lord, I am gonna report the ever-loving hell out of this place if you do. I didn't say that line, like, that was all in my head. She sounds like she has a lot of friends. Oh, she's one of those people that she tries to act sweet and she pretends like she cares about you, but she really freaking doesn't. And here's the thing. I knew about it, like, right from, like, the beginning. But again, I'm way too nice of an individual, so I just sort of shrugged it off. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. So yeah, funny enough, she's very personable. But anyways, no, she just ended up walking off because there was literally nothing she could have possibly told me at that point that would have actually given her an edge up on an argument. And then the next day, she walks up to me and she says, "Hey, Bit, I have some good news." And I'm like, "Okay, what's the good news?" It's like, so you know how, like, we told you that you need to sort out those lines? Well, okay, we ended up talking to somebody who works at the end of the lines. We convinced them that they're going to, like, for them to sort the lines out. So you don't need to do that much trafficking. Condescending as shit. Which, by the way, I have a foot condition. I should mention that. So they were forcing me to walk back and forth on this very hard factory working, like, floor. Back and forth between the factory. And she was just like, "Yeah, so now your feet aren't going to be hurting as much, I hope." I didn't say anything to her from that. I'm just like, oh, great. Yeah, I stay away from condescending folks as much as I can. Good. Very prickly people. But anyway, yeah, that's the worst of it. It got to a point where I actually had to start standing my ground. And again, when it gets to the point where I, of all people, am standing my ground, you know you have a shit establishment. I will fully admit, I'm a goddamn pushover. For the most part. There are some things that, yeah, I won't take bullshit. But I have a pretty high threshold. It takes a while to get there. Unless you're, like, actively and directly bullshitting me, then yeah. Anyway, what else should I be doing out here while I'm out here? I'm just kind of, like, wandering around and taking care of things as I'm doing this, because I'm like, well, I don't know what else I could possibly do today, but... Anyway, no, you were talking about the whole, you know, writing, like, injury reports. That actually did happen to me one time. I ended up hurting my finger while I was on, like, an assembly line area. And it wasn't really bad. Like, it was literally just, I pricked my finger and I was bleeding quite a bit. Yeah, it really did not need to have some kind of an injury report, but they forced me to do it anyways, just because, God help them, they were not going to get sued for this. You know, they were absolutely going to compensate if I needed to go to the hospital for some reason. I seem like a very hardworking person. I hope so. I try to put like 100% of what I possibly can into whatever I do. You know? But any hoopy how though. So there's that. What else? Well, I mean, okay. And of course, blanket statement. Let's just go ahead and blanket mention that. Keep in mind, if anybody in the facility screws up anything on the conveyor line, it ruins everything for everybody else on the conveyor. So that means if somebody screws up over at, like, level 2 of the area, and I'm on, like, level 4, then I get all of their crappy work. And keep in mind that, like I said, it's very difficult for them to keep people working there, because people were just, like, dropping like flies. Nobody cared to stay around that area, because it was a crap job. And also, keep in mind, now, I don't want to be a jerk, but because of the migrant worker type of stuff, it was very difficult to try and express to somebody when they get something wrong. And that means that anything that they got wrong, it would eventually come out to where I was. And so, and also, again, the factory, they had the balls to say, like, all right, so if anything goes wrong on those guys' conveyor, we need you to be able to tell what the problem is and be able to diagnose it. I'm like, okay. But in my head, I'm just like, tell them to diagnose it. What are you talking about? Like, why do I have to be the onus? Like, why do I have to have the onus of whether or not these things are broken? I don't think that's fair. But anyway. So that is pretty much like the major parts of it. There's one final part to it that's complete and utter bullshit, and I have no idea how industry standard this is, but I think... I personally would like to think that this is not something that's industry standard, and that these guys were completely in the wrong about this. I want to talk about the overtime policies that this place had. And it was garbo. Now, remember what I said about lack of communication and they just wouldn't work with people on that and they wouldn't let you know anything about it? Well, that comes right into play when it comes to the overtime policies. Because you had no idea when you were going to be doing overtime until, like, the day before. Now, like I said, I don't know how early in advance a whole lot of places could potentially tell people about it. But I do know that this place, again, they have the metrics for every single year, and at least like 3 years at this point, and they can make really good assumptions about when they should start doing overtime. And they could tell people, like, a week in advance if they were nice. But they never do. It's always a case of, you know, the day before you go into overtime. And that's it. So let me think about all the ways that this ends up breaking things. Well, okay, that basically means that you can never really make any plans for yourself ever. Because you never know when you're suddenly just going to go into overtime. Like, you don't know when a good, like, 2 or 3 hours of your life are suddenly going to be sucked up by this job. So instead of going into work at, like, 10 o'clock, you would be going at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Something like that. And let's say that you decided that you wanted to get into some kind of a Discord call for like an hour before you, before you go to work. You know, like maybe, let's say you have a long distance relationship or something. I didn't, but let's say you had one. And the only time that you had to talk was that 1 hour at like 9 o'clock. Well, suddenly that hour is gone, and you're not going to be able to talk to them for a very long period of time. So yeah, you never knew when you were just going to suddenly go into overtime. Now here's another frustrating thing. I kept on asking people, like, I kept on asking a bunch of my coworkers and people that were, like, my managers, for God's sake. I would ask them, like, okay, so how will I know when we go into overtime? And they would say, oh, well, we write it on the whiteboard out there, and then usually overtime starts the next day. It's like, okay, you don't have any kind of a company newsletter? It's like, no, we don't really need anything like that. It's like, yeah, because, yeah, that would make things a little bit easier. It's like, we don't have any kind of infrastructure for that. Okay. And then I would ask people, it's like, okay, well, when the heck do we go out of overtime? I would never get a straight answer about that at all. And I didn't understand why. Like, why am I not getting a straight answer about this? The closest answer I could possibly get from somebody was someone said, yeah, we'll probably be out of overtime at the end of the week. Actually, no, it wasn't even that. It was like, well, we're definitely going to be overtime for the rest of this week. And that's it. That's all that I got. And so I'm like, okay, so does that mean that overtime lasts for a week and then we go back to regular time the next day? Like, is that how that works? So I just went with that. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'll do that. Then, I finally go to the weekend, and I am relieved as all hell, because I'm like, oh, yes, thank God. We're finally out of overtime, and I can actually enjoy, like, that extra 2 hours. Like, you don't realize how much time 2 hours is until it's suddenly just sucked away from you. Like, it's so invigorating to finally get that back. But anyways. So, yeah, like, that was amazing. And so the following Monday rolls around, and I'm just sort of like hanging out, enjoying myself, and then a coworker of mine sends me a text, and he's just like, hey, dude, you gonna go into work? Like, are you sick? And my heart, like, almost stops at that point, because I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean, am I coming into work? Like, of course I'm coming into work. I'm, like, I got 2 more hours, right? And that's when I realized, I'm still in overtime, aren't I? Yep, definitely still in overtime. So I'm terrified at this point. Get in the car, and I immediately drive out to my workplace, and at this point, I'm freaking terrified and worried. Oh, Maple Leaf says, oh no! Also, eyes back for a bit. Oh, hello. You got here for the worst part of the story. Anyway, I think I'm gonna actually make some warp tech, though. Because, refinery link, because, oh, for God's sakes, I'm sick and tired of moving product back and forth here. Anyway, I'm going to be pretty transparent about this. I was kind of shaking and nearly to tears at that point, because I'm really worried that the management's going to be pissed at me about this. Because I'm just like, oh, shit, I didn't know. Nobody told me. God damn it. Am I going to be able to hit my quotas? What the hell am I supposed to do? I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. So, and again, I get into work at about... it's something like 9:30. So I pretty much lost, like, an hour and 30 minutes of my shift. that I should have been there. I get down there, and I immediately go up to pretty much the manager of the place. Not the lady. It's a guy. You're used to those kind of stories? Oh, I'm not, and I don't like to tell them. Well, I don't really like to harp on them too much. I think it's a good way to put it. But anyway, I finally go up to him and just... I was probably white as a sheet at that point. And I just tell him, just like, I am so sorry. I didn't know that we were still in overtime. And he cuts me off and he's just like, you know, a bit. It's okay. It's fine. You're here. It's good. Just go ahead and clock in. And that really threw me off. The reason it threw me off is because he was really passive about that. Like, kind of scarily passive about it. Like, to the point where, like, he really should have cared a little bit more that I didn't come in at a proper time that day. So I started to kind of worry about that. Because I'm like, Endermore says test. Oh, whoops, wrong account. Continue with your story. By the way, hi, Endermore. How's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. Anyway, I'm going to get out of the desert before things just, like, go to hell. Who am I kidding? It's going to go to hell, like, before I hit the portal. Yeah, I'm back. And what the heck are you testing, Endermore? Anyway. Now, again, like, I wasn't even cited for the thing. I wasn't, like, you know, I didn't get in any major trouble for, accidentally not coming into work on time. And you would think that you would get some kind of reprimanding of some description. I don't know. Maybe it was because of my first offense or whatnot, but something about that entire exchange just rubbed me the wrong ass way. So, now I know exactly how long, like, I know exactly how overtime now works. Basically, overtime starts whenever it says on the whiteboard. You know, it says overtime is starting tomorrow, usually. And then we are in overtime until they say so. That's it. There's no warning. You never know when you're going out of overtime. And that means that whatever time that you want to try and schedule, like if you want to schedule anything, you can't. You know? Like, you're already sucking so much of your day out of a straw just working at this place. Like, you're putting in good 12 to 13 hour work days. Oh, hello. Sponge, Patrick Star, testing. Testing! Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So yeah, that is how overtime worked at my job. It was just, you know, you're in overtime when we say so, and you're out of overtime when we say so. That's it. And despite the fact that they have all of the information about, you know, about the busy season and when it is and when it isn't, they're not going to give you that info. And they're also not going to plan in advance that way. At least, like, in other jobs, like, I've talked to some of my other friends, at the very least, if you're working overtime, they'll let you know, like, 5 days to a week in advance. I don't know. Are there anybody else in the chat that has a job like that, where they only give you, like, 1 day of warning? I'm curious to know, because it's been boggling my mind for a while, like, that cannot be a standard thing. And if it is, that's disgusting. Oh, Undermore sent me 1,000 bits. Thank you. They kind of look like plorts. I appreciate that. Oh, cheers, Bit. It's Boba. What? Oh, you changed your name to Endermore. Very neat. Why? I'm so confuzzled. Somehow you got switched to this account when you bought the bits. Oh, that's weird. Changing back to Boba. That's weird. You have a paid account and a free one. Okay. Get out of my way, robot. Hey, stop it. Taking up so much. Okay, here we are. Anyway, so back to this whole story situation. So the times that we were busy, they tended to fall around like early spring. Actually, no, it's like early spring and midsummer. Actually, no, like late summer. Early spring, late summer, somewhere around there. Funny stuff. My leaderboard placement, no! Distant explosion. Any herps. So yeah, there's some information. And from what I could tell, the overtime tended to last somewhere around maybe like 3 weeks to a month. Somewhere around there. At least like for the most part, for average. Oh dear, that is a terrifying milk carton. But anyway, yeah, that wasn't fun. 12 to 13 hour work days at complete like you didn't know when you were going to be in overtime, when you were going to be out of it. It was disgusting, it was frustrating, and I just wanted more information. I wanted them to talk to me and communicate. They never did. Eventually, we left overtime. And let me tell you, when we officially actually left overtime, that was the most like lifting experience I have ever had, because I had been in overtime for about a month at that point. And to finally suddenly have those 2 hours back in my possession, like I said, it's amazing, because you don't realize just how much stuff you can get done in 2 hours. It's just not ethical. Lack of communication is a big problem. Definitely. So again, I was really excited for the time being. And then a week later, they told us that we were going back into overtime tomorrow. Did anybody's eyebrows just raise there? Because, mine did. Mine definitely did. Because I'm like, what are you talking about? So you literally just had us have, like, basically an eye of the storm situation with goddamn overtime? Like, why the hell did we go out of overtime out of nowhere? Like, what the hell? And I wasn't happy about it. Nobody else at the plant was happy about it. One of your eyebrows flew off your face, and now there is hair on your monitor. Help. Oh, Windex will take care of that. Although, if you don't want to end up destroying your eyebrows, maybe you should use Goo Gone. Shadow said, mine didn't, but I just blinked disapprovingly. As you should. So yeah, okay. Apparently, according to whatever the metrics were that they had set up, potentially this was another busy part of the season, and they wanted everybody to be prepared and ready to go back into overtime again. Here's a spoiler. We ended up being in overtime again for about 2 more weeks, and those 2 weeks were totally and completely unnecessary. Because there was so little work coming through that most of us were just sort of sitting around and twiddling our thumbs. We were doing day shifts work because we had run out of our own. There was no reason for us to go back into overtime at all, and yet we did it anyways because technically the metrics said so. So all that frustration for nothing. And then we got out of overtime. And luckily, I think this was around the time that I actually had some plans. Like, I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to pull through a couple of plans. And luckily, we left overtime right around the time where I was able to actually pull off those plans. So, like, the light finally shined through, and I actually was able to pull off doing something that I really wanted to do. I still had to work that day, but... at the very least, I wouldn't have to spend that extra 2 hours of my day at work. You know, I'm just like, oh, thank God, that's great. 2 days later, we go back into overtime. If your eyebrows didn't shoot off into space, I'd be surprised. Because let me tell you, I was very confused at this point. I'm like, why are we going back into overtime again? Like, what was the point of leaving it at that point? Couldn't you have just kept us all into overtime for the 3 days that we weren't? Like, why get our hopes up like that? It's like the carrot on a stick thing, except worse. Because this is something that we should probably just be given. Like, a God-given right to be able to freaking rest and know when we're not working. So, this was just it. I couldn't deal with this anymore. Like, this was stupid. Now I just sighed and death glared at my screen. There are no words. Yeah, I know. So, at this point, I'm goddamn livid. So at that point, I went and I grabbed like the tools that I had grabbed for the day. And instead of going to my workplace, I immediately walked up to my female supervisor that was there. You know, the one that was trying to be all condescending and, kitty to me. You know, the one that she likes to throw a whole lot of bullshit and lies at your face. No, I walked directly up to her, and even before she could start small talking, I immediately said, "Why are we going back into overtime?" No sugarcoating, nothing else. Like, I just said, "Why are we going back into overtime?" And she was just like, she I don't think she had any idea what she could say at that point. Because I think she was like kind of dumbfounded that, the quiet one has actually spoke up and started talking to her about this. It's like, what? Boba says, "Oh boy, I would be scared to see you livid." Go watch the second part of the playthrough of Celeste. Hint, don't. Oh, Maple Leaf says, "Oh, that reminds me of my dad's job because there's a lady there that is the literal definition of a Karen." Bit angry. But anyway, yeah. Like, playtime and fun was over. I was just like, why are we going back in overtime? And she was scared because it was just like, oh god, what's happening? What's gonna happen? And she says just like, I don't know, that corporate, that's the decision that they made. I'm like, all right, well, get me in contact with somebody that can actually answer that question. And that flummoxed her even more because she's just like, fuck. And here's the thing, I was pretty goddamn sure I was not going to get a phone number. Like, they would never hand me the phone number to anybody at corporate. This was basically just me attempting to put the fear of God in their eyes. Like, I was attempting to just like, no, I'm not fucking around anymore. Like, this is complete and total seriousness. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Why the hell are we going back into overtime? Like, what the hell is happening here? And so she was just like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to, the general manager here, the guy I was talking about earlier that gave me the whole, it's okay, dude, it's okay, just log in, just sign in. Same dude. He's like, I'm gonna go to him, and I'm going to chat with him. Why don't you go over to the break room and just hang out for a little while? And I know exactly why she wanted me to do that. She wanted me to go to the break room because she didn't want me out in the open asking these questions. Like, she does not want anybody to be pointing out the bullshit. Must have been cathartic to see her like that. Not really, because I was just completely pissed off at her. Catharsis wasn't really a part of the menu at that day. On that point, on that day. But anyways, yeah, I went over to the break room and I just paced. Like, I was that angry where I was just like, I've had enough of this. I want an answer. I want someone to talk to me about this. And so finally I was called back into the area where like all the employees were. And I walked up to him. And again, general manager, and again, this guy's a pretty cool dude. He's very reasonable. He has the thing that he's holding is actually the statistics of how they did every single year. And he began talking to me and telling me about everything that is, all the decisions that they make and why they do them. And showing the graphs and being like, this is why it happens. This is where the decision making goes, and the decisions that they make are based entirely around these statistics that we collect and generate every single year. But here's the thing. I already know this. Like, this is not a shock or a surprise to me. I'm already well aware of the fact that this is how it works because my friend, he's told me about how it works. So I'm not asking why statistically this is happening. I'm asking why the hell does corporate have the black-hearted soul to be able to pull people in and out of overtime like this? That's my problem. I couldn't give two shits about what the statistics say. I want to know what the hell, like, somebody who would actually be able to, you know, I want someone to actually answer for this shit. So this answer is really not giving me any kind of... I'm not getting any kind of catharsis from this. This is not giving me any kind of closure or conclusion. You're just asking to be informed of your shifts ahead of time and not on the spot. Yeah, that's kind of all I want. And again, on top of that, I want to know exactly why this is set up the way that it is. Like, what... Like, who the hell made that decision, and why can't this not be backed up? Like, why can't I know this a week before it happens? Heck, why did we have to leave and enter overtime that many times? I know that the company is trying to save a little bit of money, but for God's sakes, if there's a ton of work and we can't really do much with it, you could just kick us out. There's no shame in doing that. You could have us go into work, stay in overtime, but then say, all right, yeah, there's nothing for you to do, so yeah, go home. Like, that'd be so much better than the current system that they had. This is why Shadow says they dread having to go into the workforce. Here's the thing. I don't want you to be scared into going to work. Like, there are some good jobs and some good occupations, but there are some places that are really bad. This being one of them, unfortunately, so... But anyways, it was clear to me at this point, like, if they're seriously going to give me this tried and tired explanation as to why it is that we're going back into overtime, it occurred to me at this point that there was absolutely nothing that I could say to them to try and get an answer out of them. Like, this was going nowhere. I was never going to get my answer. So at that point, I finally told them, you know what, I quit. I'm done. And here's the fucked up bit. As soon as I told them that I quit and I'm done, they waved me into my general manager's office. They handed me the forms to sign out, to sign off, and pretty much just like, you know, I'm no longer an employee of the company. Maybe write down a little paragraph about why it is that you're leaving. And it's just like, all right, hand in your tools, hand in your ID, hand in any other information about the company, and you can be on your way. And let me tell you something. There are only two specific things that were really easy about this job. One was being hired on. Two was being let go. That's it. The most efficient part of the entire job is the hiring and firing policies. Like, this is pretty much the definition of a revolving door company. Like, this is a place that they don't hold on to their employees. They get all of the work and the effort they possibly can out of them, squeeze them of all of their self-esteem, all of their time, all of their effort, all of their energy, and then spit them out when they're no longer useful to you. That's just how it works. And there were a lot of good people that were a part of that job, but... And that's why I say, I don't hold any grudge against any individual peoples there, but I definitely hold a grudge against the CEOs and the people that run the place. Because that ain't right. Like, I shouldn't dread having to go into work. As a matter of fact, that's pretty much the exact same thing for a lot of different places and a lot of different workspaces. Like, you shouldn't be terrified to get up and go to work. Like, the thank God it's Friday thing, we shouldn't be worried about, like, actually, we shouldn't be thanking the good Lord above that 5 out of 7 of the days of our lives are done. Like, we shouldn't hate our lives like that. And it sucks. So, yeah, that was a big old chunk of my life I'm never going to get back, and I'm really glad I'm gone. And they left a pretty good mental scar on me that I will probably never recover from. So, if I could give any kind of advice, pay attention. Try not to take too much shit from your coworkers or anybody who's on the top. So, sorry, I kind of like went on like an end ramble there, but let me go ahead and just like read the chat real quick. Very shady things are going on. Not a very trustworthy company, no. You have issues with deadlines, waking up before 8:30, basically just every mental block that there ever was that you need to have a job, yeah. It's pretty easy when you find a job that is actually customary and works for you. Bulba says, if hiring and letting go are the easiest parts of the job, that says a lot about the company. Every mental block that blocks off everything you need to yeah, right. You highly recommend giving them a constructive review on Indeed.com. Okay. I might do that, maybe. I don't know. Let other people know that this job is a trap, pretty much, and say that you disagree with the CEO's policies. You could probably save other people's lives. Potentially, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Maple Leaf says, I was planning to get a job right after I graduate, since right after I graduate, your mom's going to pass down her old car to you so you could get yourself to work. The only problem is that you're not sure where to work yet. And that's a major question. You know, oh my god, they're breeding. Endless farm! All I can say is, like, you know, keep observation on everything around you. Like, if there are bad signs, take them at the... Like, freaking pay attention to them. Take them. Identify when things are bad. Actually, there's one thing. There's one piece of advice that was given. I forget where I originally heard this, but it's actually a really good piece of advice, and that is, if the good people at a workplace are leaving, that's the canary in the cage. And if you don't know the reference to that, a canary in a cage, that's a reference to old miners, and they would like walk down a cave, and if a canary started screaming and shouting in a cage, it meant that there was some kind of a poison in the mine, and that the miners needed to get out. Well, if a really good employee decides to leave out of nowhere, that's the canary, and it's time for you to follow. So remember that little bit, because I definitely am myself. And if you could believe it, the story ain't over. Chicken hatches. Hello, mama. Hen. Hello, my child. Immediately gets killed by saber slime. Anyway, so how could it not be over? The story ain't over till the fat lady sing. You're probably thinking that. It's just like, what the hell happened now? You left. Well, it kept on going, because, again, you remember that I said I had some coworkers that worked there? Well, one of them was a friend of mine. I actually got a referral from him. And he continued to work in there. I think he might actually still be working there right now. Again, but that's just because he actually has a reasonable wage there, because he was there before the, the CEO turning. Oh, Shadow says, I like doing creative things, but I don't think I'd be good for it in the creative industry style of working. Too chaotic. Although it feels like it gives you more freedom sometimes. I guess. It's a little bit difficult to do creative work when it's not your creative work, if there's a good way to put it. Like, you really need to put in your heart and soul into a creative job like that. And it's difficult to do when, like, maybe you don't have a whole lot of incentive or creativity to put in, like, in front of the table. If this was animated, this would probably be in 2 or 3 parts. Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You don't need to apologize. Oh, also, it would probably be cut down so that it's a little less rambly. There's another thing, too. But anyway, no, not the end of the story. Again, my buddy continued to still work there, and he told me that a rumor started that apparently, while I was working there, on the day that I finally quit, he says that I threw my tools down on the ground in anger. What the fuck? When, how, and where did that happen? Like, I was definitely completely confused. And here's the thing. He didn't directly tell me that. Like, he started it out. He wanted to get my side of the story before he told me anything about what had happened. here's what happened. He literally told me, it's like, okay, you need to get into a Discord call with me right now. I'm like, what the heck happened? And so I did. And he's like, okay, dude, I need you to give me the full, unabridged, every single little detail about when you quit working at this plant. And that's exactly what I did. Like, I told him exactly everything that happened, like to the letter, 100%. And the thing is, he believes me because he knows me. He knows I'm trustworthy. I wouldn't be a lying sack of shit. So he's just like, okay, you're sure that's everything? I'm like, yes. And he's like, because there's a rumor going around that you threw down your tools in anger when you left. And I was just like, the fuck? So yeah, I don't know how the hell that rumor started. And for God's sakes, I am hoping to the ends of the earth that the administration didn't start that one. Like, I don't know. Apparently, like, there was no meetings. Nobody said anything from the administration. Just people started throwing that around that somehow I did that. No, I didn't. Like, that's public. That is company property. I would never throw down my tools. I guarantee you, I had my tools on me, but I calmly handed them in when I was done with them. You bet it was probably the Karen. Oh my god. You know what? You're probably right. Yeah, how did that rumor get through, especially with the folks who don't speak? I don't know. I'm sure that they probably weren't sending it around. I'm sure it was probably the few people that continued to still... like, the people that knew English that were passing it around. I don't know. And that actually genuinely made me think, like, oh my god, like, what other stories have I heard about this place that were complete falsities and lies? Like, you know, like, are certain stories fabricated? Like, was that one dude that was destroying company property? Like, was that a lie? Like, how did that happen? Where did that come from? Funnystuf says, I've had issues with people in charge lying to make themselves look in the right. Yeah. Again, I'm kind of in that point where I'm like, did the administration straight up lie? Did they make that up? So that, like, I would end up looking bad? Like, did they really want to slander the hell out of me? But you know what? It really didn't matter at the end of the day, because I knew I was never going to go back to that place ever again. Like, I do not care. Like, even if they were... Oh my god, yeah. All right, I don't think I put nearly enough emphasis on this. Again, I was making about $9.50 an hour there. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, night shift, $9.50. Let me tell you, none of that was worth it. That job was not worth it. And because of the fact that I quit, I don't even have a resume to fill out for that job. Boba says, rumors and slander is a really strict rule at the Amazon facility you work at, and with gossip, insulting, and bullying. That's good. Shadow, not even $10. But, you know, all these places that are pushing for $15 an hour wages. This place wasn't even pushing 10. And again, like I said, that's due to the fact that this place was technically considered a factory. It wasn't a factory job. If it were a factory job, my wage would have been a hell of a lot higher. And I would have had a lot better workers' compensation. Like, I would have had some really good healthcare, like, right off the bat. I did have healthcare, but it was crap healthcare. Yeah, I would have been getting a heck of a lot better if they were properly, identified as a factory. But it wasn't. It was a lab. Boba says, I'm pretty sure that's way below the federal minimum wage. Oh no, it's directly at the minimum wage. Trust me, I know. Federal minimum wage is $12. Not sure what it was at the time when I was working, though. It probably was a heck of a lot lower for at the time. It's been quite a long time since I've been working at that job, so yeah. Maple Leaf says, reminds me of middle school, but it was nothing but all those negative things. Ugh, God. Take care of yourself, man. Like, I guess that's all I can really say when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I don't know what other, what other things I could possibly say about that. Like, a job like that, nobody deserves to be in a hell like that. Nobody. At least, like, here's the thing. Here's another funny thing. If I were making a living wage, I would still be working there. As crazy as it sounds, I would still be working there. Because it was work that I understood, and I totally got, and I felt like if I could actually earn some wage over time, I feel like I would fit really well in that little mold. Like, I would have been able to get somewhere there. I would deal with a lot of the bullshit. In fact, like, if worse comes to worse, I probably would have reported the place just so I could continue to keep working there. But the thing is, that place is so worthless, I don't even want to report the place. Like, no freaking point. Look, there were times where I'm like, is there some OSHA law that's being... actually, no, that's like safety. Basically, like a better business sort of situation. Is there some kind of regulation that is not being upheld here? And could I potentially get this place flagged for it? But at the end of the day, that's way more work that it ends up being. Like, if it were a decent job and if I enjoyed it, oh, yeah, I would definitely... I would report the place. Are you kidding me? But it's the fact that it's just such a useless-ass job. Like, I don't care. I don't care nearly enough to do anything like that. Oh, yeah. Funnystuf says, when I was in 8th grade, you had a teacher straight up lie to your dad to get you in trouble. That sucks, man. Again, it's in a situation where people just kind of have to take your word for it. And in a lot of circumstances, people won't. That sucks. Sue the company, get all the money that I worked for, and a lot more for liability. No, because here's the thing. Again, this company, like, they've done a really good job of working just above where the line is between, like, basically, they're really good at riding the line between legal and illegal. And again, it's all this new CEO is doing. Like, they're making a ton of extra profits because they've whittled down the entirety of that business into a science. Like, they know exactly where they can cut corners and where they can't. And so long as they continue to make profits, they're not going to change anything. And that's what really sucks. Maple Leaf says, I have a friend. She still be your friend till this day. It was around 1st grade. She was the one of those lonely, mainly bullied kids. And you being a tiny chicken nugget, which you still am. All right. As soon as you became friends, some of the other students hated you just because you were her friend while you were just confused. Slight PTSD, I mean. You feel like your heart seized up when... so much as hear the sound of a ball bouncing. Oh, Jesus. Is a noun for acting of the act of suing sewage? If not, it should be. Maybe it, yeah, maybe. Yeah. See, the thing, and the funny thing is that, again, I'm not going to go into specific details about exactly what happened, but that job did genuinely leave a hell of a lot of self-esteem issues and a lot of, like, mental problems that I'm not going to go into detail about. But fun fact, they are things that I actually struggled through at some point during the course of me live streaming. I'm not going to say when, but just to let you know, there were some days where I didn't want to come onto the live stream just because I felt crushed and upset and just unhappy. But a lot of the times I would just completely ignore it and I would just jump in because, I mean, hey, streaming makes me feel better. So I would completely ignore it because I'm like, no, that's That's not you talking. You know, that's all of the that's all the mental problems that have built up in your head. You know, you're gonna feel a hell of a lot better when you jump on the live stream and just goof around and do something silly. So go and have some fun. Do something cool. Moral we've all learned today: life kind of sucks. Yes, funny stuff. I would agree. And with that, I think we are very much over time when it comes to Slime Rancher streams. I definitely need to go and, like, make myself a food. Also, Bitme needs a hug just from the world. Oh, jeez. Thank you. Thank you for oh my god, there's the virtual hug! Thank you! I was about to say thank you for the, the hug. Sometimes it's okay to take a mental break. Oh, definitely. I mean, if there's anything that I would sue the place for at this point, it would probably be some kind of, like, post-traumatic stress. Because, like, seriously, it's documented. I have the papers, for God's sakes. Enjoy the bits. Hey, thanks for sending the bits to good old Bit. I don't know. Again, it's never necessary to subscribe or send bits or do anything of that nature, but, like, it's real nice when you do. I appreciate it a heck of a lot. And, although, here's a fun fact, though. This is something that I've known for actually a little while. You can't actually cash out any of the checks that you get via Twitch until you've at least hit somewhere around $100. So, all that stuff's just gonna have to, like, kind of sit around and do nothing for a brief period of time. But you know what? That's okay. I'm not really hurting for money at the moment. And I mean, when I finally do get that money, I'm going to be spending it on stuff for the stream. So, for example, if I need to buy storage space for backing up archives, I'm going to do that. If I need to buy some, like, brand new games, I'm going to use it for that. If there's any hardware that I need to replace or any improvements I need to do, like, for example, if I decided to finally go for that 2-computer system, and if I had enough money, I don't know how the hell it would happen. But if it ever did happen, I would be using that fund for stuff like that. So, just full disclosure for that thing. In fact, I don't even know how much I have currently made. That's how little I'm paying attention to it. You know, it's just like, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for fun and just enjoying the company and enjoying seeing you guys here. I'm getting sentimental as all hell. I think I might need to stop. Thanks for hosting the stream. Thanks for sharing my personal experiences. Well, thanks for listening. It's really nice to hear it. It's the wholesome stream. Oh my god. Right. Yeah, let's just go ahead and end things there. So thanks everybody for coming out to the stream. I appreciate it a hell of a lot. And again, especially thanks to Boba for sending out that cheer. Again, it says Endermore, but it was Boba. It was just under a different account. Again, I appreciate it a lot. If you want to take a look at this stream after it's done, I'm going to be uploading it to the YouTube channel. Though I will say I've been a little bit busy as of late, so I don't know if I'm going to run into a gap in the whole uploading thing. I hope not. Probably. I don't know. I get busy. I mean, I'm way too busy singing Old Town Road as the conductor. Yeah, that's how busy I am. By the way, if you still haven't seen it, for God's sakes, why haven't you? But anyways, yeah, at some point I'm going to upload it to the YouTube channel. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Some other stuff going on. I'm really sad, and I'm sorry that I couldn't do some more Phoenix Wright the other day, but again, I wasn't feeling all that 100%. Like, I felt a little bit sick, so I'm trying to, like, that's one thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep myself from streaming when I'm sick or I'm not feeling up to it. Because, like, there's no point in putting myself through that. If I'm not in the mood for it, if I'm like, you're not going to have a good stream if I just decide, meh. Oh, you're going to send something wholesome on the chat. And you sent it to the floop zone, which means it's a dorg or something. Oh, it's definitely a dorg. Here, give me a second. I have so many windows up, I have to, like, move them around. Here, get out of here, get out of here. Oh. Oh, yeah, send this to a sad friend. I don't know if I've seen this, but I've seen videos like it. Oh, it's adorable. Just because that music might be copywritten, I'm going to go ahead and just avoid that one. I'll watch it later. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna dive back into Phoenix Wright at some point. Now I'm thinking next Wednesday I want to do a Hat in Time mod stream, so just a heads up on that one. And I think you all know exactly what mod I am lining myself up to play. It's gonna be a banger, that's for sure. So, you know, turn up. Be there. It's gonna be ridiculous. Anything else I should be talking about? I have a couple of games that I'm lining up to potentially play, so yeah, there's another fun thing. Anyway, I need to go to the bathroom too, because I've been holding it for the past, I think, hour. Mostly because I wanted to get that work story out. That mod is like 3,399 megabytes. I feel like I'm gonna check. I don't know if there's an estimated playtime on that thing, but it may end up having to be an entire stream of itself. No idea. BitB is full of pizza juice. I haven't eaten pizza. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I need to go, like, okay, I'm not gonna say cry, but just be happy. Happy that I'm no longer working at that horrible place, and that you guys are here. Again, thank you very much. I say it all the time, and it might seem a little bit stale, but I'm totally serious when I say it. Okay. I'm gonna go. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.